The Orange Bowl began its march through history in the mid-30s. The many exciting games, beautiful queens, and superb pageantry have created a classic. Tonight's game will have a crowd in excess of 77,000, and that's nearly 70,000 more than watched Bucknell defeat Miami in the first Orange Bowl way back in 1935. But it's still Miami. The weather is warm, 75 degrees. It's wonderful. You cannot improve on that. But somehow over the years, the games seem to get more and more exciting, and the pageantry unbelievably gets better and better. Guided by the Orange Bowl man behind the scenes, Ernie Seiler. Now let's meet our queen.
Welcome to the 1970 Orange Bowl game between the Missouri Tigers and the Nittany Lions of Penn State. As your queen, I will preside over the pageantry at halftime. And to help you enjoy the game, I turn you over to Jim Simpson and Al DeRogatis.
And that was our lovely queen, Katrina Hempel. And thank you, Katrina, and NBC Sports adds its best wishes for 1970. Tonight's game is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer, where it takes only a little to move up a lot. By United Airlines, fly the friendly skies of United. And by Winston, more people than ever say, me and my Winstons. We got a real good thing, a real good taste. The Orange Bowl, Miami, Florida. I've already told you 75 degrees right now. Balmy, beautiful skies here in Miami. The temperature today got up as high as 80 under sunny skies. Well, Al DeRogatis, it is Missouri and Penn State. And now let us take a look at Missouri, ranked much farther down the line than Penn State, and yet favored slightly tonight. Missouri has knocked off Michigan, whom you just saw, 40-17. The only loss to Colorado, which got off very well in the first half, and they lost that ball game 31-24. The only loss, and Kansas was here a year ago tonight, and they rolled up 69 points against them. Now Penn State says we are number one. They have not been beaten in 29 ball games, and this year they rolled over Navy. Colorado, the fabled Bob Anderson, an All-American, was held to 4 yards that day as a quarterback, but they had some close ones, with Syracuse winning by just a point, and even Boston College gave them a scare. But may we recall again to you what happened here 1 year ago tonight. Kansas had the lead until the last seconds when Penn State took it, and with a second try for the extra point, won by just 1 point. Al DeRogatis in an amazing and exciting finish.
What a football game that was. And there is probably the picture of the year right behind us. Mike Reed, the All-American, prayerfully hoping his team will pull it out, and they did. Mike Reed, number 68, watch him. And especially now, let's watch Mike Reed in action. Here he is on his specialty, getting to the passer, and he'll be trying to get to Terry McMillan tonight. Missouri, not to be outdone. John Brown, number 89, putting a big rush on. There's a sophomore worth watching, number 89. Joe Moore, what a runner he is, breaking it open against Michigan. This is 62 yards, the longest run of the year for Missouri and for Joe Moore. And now number 24, watch this guy from Penn State. Poise and balance, and here comes the balance. Beautiful for a touchdown and a big one. Number 24, Charlie Pittman. And now the quarterback, Terry McMillan, firing to a brilliant receiver, Mel Gray, number 21. And here's a guy worth watching. Can he go? Number 21, Mel Gray. Here's Burkhardt. All he does is won, and he's never lost. Number 22, Chuck Burkhardt, firing to Pete Johnson. What a football game it should be.
And what a game it is already. As far as the crowd is concerned, more than 77,000 will be here. The pageantry will start in just a moment, and I'm sure that you know that aside from these great football games put on by the Orange Bowl each year, there's a spectacular halftime pageant. And we invite you to see it at halftime of this ball game between Penn State and Missouri. Missouri comes into this ball game with a record of scoring on an average of 5 touchdowns per ball game. Penn State, a tough defensive unit, has only been giving up 8.7 points per ball game. So we come with a fine offense of Missouri, and Al DeRogatis will be talking about that later against the great defense of Penn State. But now let's go down to the field and pregame pageantry of the 1970 Orange Bowl.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Orange Bowl Committee presents its 1973 game show entitled America for Peace. It's our honor and privilege to present the Reverend Billy Graham to lead us in a prayer for peace. Ladies and gentlemen, the Reverend Billy Graham.
Shall we pray? Our Father and our God, we thank thee that thou hast spared and blessed us through the decade of the 60s. We pray thy blessing on us as a nation as we enter a new decade. As there are rules, goals, and penalties in football, so there are rules, goals, and penalties that thou hast set for our lives. Forgive us for the many violations of these rules that have kept us from reaching the goalposts of peace. We thank thee that on that first Christmas that thou didst send thy Son to pay the penalty for us, and that by faith in him we can reach the goals of peace, security, happiness, and eternal life. Bless all who participate in this game tonight. May 1970 bring the world closer to peace, for we ask it in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please, all of us, let's sing our national anthem.
Well, I'm sure you know by now that you're in the Orange Bowl in Miami, their magnificent pageantry. Well, let us meet the seniors starting for the University of Missouri and Penn State. Candid shots taken earlier of the people today and tonight who will be playing their last ball games for their team. First of all, from Missouri, number 22, John Staggers. A slot back, the offensive captain from Jefferson City, Missouri. Number 23 is Tom Shyrock, tight end from Fredericktown, Missouri. Number 66, and they're in their practice uniforms here, Mike Carroll, offensive tackle of St. Genevieve, Missouri. A good blocking fullback, Ron McBride, number 32 from Fulton, Missouri. And a hometown boy, comeback, Terry McMillan, the quarterback of Missouri, wears number 18. He's from Coral Gables, Florida. Set a lot of records at Missouri this year. The punter, Steve Kennemore, also a tight end, number 46 from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Number 24, field goal and extra point kicker and a fine slot back, Henry Brown from Middleton, Pennsylvania. The defensive captain and guard, Sam Adams, number 63 from Midland, Texas. Number 79 is Mark Kuhlman, defensive tackle from St. Louis, Missouri. The safety man in Missouri's defense is Dennis Polk, number 28 from Anchor, Illinois. A defensive halfback from Chillicothe, Missouri, number 40, this is Butch Davis, caught on a candid pose. A fine linebacker, especially against the pass, number 55, Steve Lundholm of Des Moines, Iowa. And the defensive right end, number 84, Joe Hoffman of Granite City, Illinois. And the head coach of this successful Missouri team, 9-1 on the year, is Dan Devine. And he'll be facing today, of course, the Nittany Lions of Penn State, unbeaten in 29 straight, and led by tackle Steve Smear, number 76, a defensive co-captain from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. And right alongside of him, the All-American winner, the Maxwell Trophy winner, the Outland Trophy winner, number 68, Mike Reed of Altoona, Pennsylvania, a defensive tackle. Tom Jackson is the offensive captain, plays tackle, number 63, from North Plainfield, New Jersey. The quarterback who has never lost in high school or college, number 22, Chuck Burkhardt of McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. The All-American halfback, he broke all of Lenny Moore's scoring records at Penn State, Charlie Pittman, number 24, from Baltimore, Maryland. The senior fullback, who also does some kicking, from South Hadley, Massachusetts, number 36, is Don Abbey. A linebacker last year, a tight end this year, number 40, Pete Johnson, North Plainfield, New Jersey. And a linebacker who will move into the line a lot, number 55, Jim Cates of Plainfield, New Jersey. Another All-American, he also returns punts despite the fact he's a linebacker, number 35, Dennis Oncott of Northampton, Pennsylvania. Another senior tonight, number 89, defensive end from Altoona, Pennsylvania, John Ebersole. He'll be playing on the left side. A defensive halfback, a good one, number 47, Paul Johnson from Cazenovia, New York. And another All-American, the safety man, number 26, Neil Smith from Port Trevorton, Pennsylvania. And, of course, the head coach, Joe Paterno, who says his team is number 1. And that is quite a famous story. Missouri and Penn State are now ready for the opening kickoff, and we'll be right back for the start of the 1970 Orange Bowl game. Now we return to our studios for this message. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Jim Simpson with Al DeRogatis. Back at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Now for the toss of the coin. Penn State sending out all of its seniors. Number 68 is Mike Reed. Number 63, Tom Jackson, the offensive captain. Number 35, Dennis Oncott. And with their backs to you, John Staggers, number 22 of Missouri. And number 63, the offensive captain, Sam Adams. Make that the defensive captain. The officials tonight, Paul Bertha is the referee, William P. Douglas, the lineman, Arthur W. Bales, the backfield judge, Cliff Squires, the umpire, Cecil Hankins, the field judge, and William Jennings, the clock operator. Missouri with a high-powered offense. Penn State with an awesome defense. And the toss of the coin. Penn State tonight in the blue, the dark, going to your left. Penn State has won the toss and will receive to your left. And as they come back to kick off, Al DeRogatis, a few words from you on what to look for tonight.
Well, Jim, you kind of mentioned it. It's a great defense of Penn State going against, and I'm telling you, a brilliant offense of Missouri. Penn State also has a good offense. Missouri's defense has been questioned by some. They have been scored on a great deal. The Missouri offense, though, is brilliant. Joe Moore, sensational. Mel Gray, as good a receiver as you're going to find. Ron Staggers has broken up many a football game. They've got a boy named Hanley, John Hanley, number 80. When he's in the game, the passing game, Jim, really gets interesting.
That is Missouri huddling closest to you. And they're inclined to go for the bomb early. But, of course, the ball now belongs to Penn State. And it'll be interesting to see how the Nittany Lions play this one, because they should use a lot of time on the clock. And Missouri should score in a hurry, then State's in trouble. Charlie Pittman, number 24, All-American, goes back as the middleman. Lydell Mitchell is nearest to you, and Franco Harris across the way. Pittman in the center. Henry Brown is coming out and will kick it off. That is Butch Davis, number 40, standing there. Brown is a slot back, plays behind John Staggers. Al will be telling you later, the slot backs in the Missouri offense many times line up as the tight end. But this is Henry Brown, a senior from Middleton, Pennsylvania, kicking off to Penn State. Well, again, Happy New Year, everyone, and enjoy tonight's 1970 Orange Bowl. The All-American Charlie Pittman at the 3, the 10, the 20, and across the 25, out to the 26-yard line. Charlie Pittman. And Penn State will have this lineup. Greg Edmonds, the split end. Tom Jackson at tackle. Bob Holuba at guard. Warren Kogel at center. Charlie Zapek at right guard. Vic Surma at right tackle. Pete Johnson, the tight end. Don Abbey, your starting fullback. Number 36 is not in there. Franco Harris, 34, is in there. Lydell Mitchell, 23. Charlie Pittman, 24. And Chuck Burkhart going from a deep punt formation, throwing to Franco Harris. Across the 30 and out to the 32 for a gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4.
And you can be sure that this was a big surprise, and we'll be showing that defensive alignment. But Penn State coming with a shotgun right off.
Now quickly, the Missouri defense, which has a 6-man front. Brown, Kuhlman, Vital, Adams, Miser, and Hoffman across the front. The linebackers Holt, Lundholm, and Weisenfeld with Fountain, Pope, and Davis deep. Second down, 4. Charlie Pittman trying to get the first down. Is knocked down, it looks like, on the 35, just shy of the first down. The tackle was made there by Joe Hoffman, number 84.
As we look at the Missouri defense, it's going to look an awful lot like, at times, an 8-man line. There's even spacing. The linebackers are jamming in there very tightly. The ends are playing it rather wide.
Split end Greg Edmonds wide to the right on third down and about a yard. And this is Charlie Pittman picking up the first down out to the 39-yard line. Dennis Pope, number 28, came up to make the tackle. 13 minutes, 41 seconds to go. We're just in the first quarter of tonight's Orange Bowl. The Rose Bowl just over. USC defeated Michigan 10-3. Earlier this afternoon, Texas came from behind in the closing moments to knock off Notre Dame 21-17, and Mississippi beat Arkansas 27-22. Burkhart hands to Lydell Mitchell, and Mitchell gets a lot of yardage out to the 45-yard line. Missouri is not known as a strong defensive team against the run.
Jim Simpson mentioned the slot earlier. That time, Lydell Mitchell is lined up to the slot to the left side. The tight end is split out about 6 yards. Lydell Mitchell then takes it back on a reverse to the weak side.
Edmonds, the split end at the bottom of your screen. Pittman set in a slot, and now they've got a double slot right. Franco Harris, and he gets about a yard across the 45 and not much more. At the bottom of the pile getting up is number 89, the fine sophomore, John Brown, the defensive left end.
And on that play with the double slot, you notice, or you will notice, that Missouri has not rolled to the slot. They're going to stay in man-to-man. Burkhart will sometime during this game throw to that slot side.
On 3rd and 4, it is Mitchell, who is wide to the left as a flanker. Burkhart, look out, gets the ball away, almost intercepted on a fine defensive play by Steve Lundholm, number 55. We told you he was great against the pass, and that time, Lundholm, the senior from Des Moines, nearly had himself a touchdown.
He read screen extremely well, and he's going to be reading screen most of the evening. Penn State does not, as we've indicated, throw deep. However, that is deceptive because Burkhart has close to a 52% completion average.
Bob Parsons with a fine 40.6-yard punting average will kick it away to John Staggers, who is deep. No score. Wobbly kick. And Staggers will let the ball bound dead at the 16-yard line, where Missouri gets its hands on the football for the first time tonight. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score, Penn State nothing and Missouri nothing.
Seek the ones who have that word.
what is there? Come fly the friendly skies of United.
Welcome back to the Orange Bowl in Miami, where Missouri has the football for the first time, and the Missouri band plays their version of the Missouri Waltz. The ball has been spotted at the 17th. McMillan, hometown boy, Coral Gables, Florida, broke most of the passing records. Hands the ball to Staggers on the draw, ridden down from behind by Gary Hall, the defensive right end.
And if you saw a draw play that might have been predictable, that was it. They like to go up top.
Here's your offensive lineup. Shryock at tight end, Jackson tackle, Kelly guard, Wilson center, Kephart at right guard, the All-American Mike Carroll at tackle, and Mel Gray, number 21, at end. And this is Staggers again, and he has got daylight. Ridden down from behind as he crosses the 45-yard line. Tackle was made by Jack Ham, number 33. John Staggers, one of many with blinding speed on the Missouri team.
And this blinding speed looks blinding even in slow motion. You saw a fine block on Mike Smith. It looks like Staggers is going to go all the way. Neil Smith slows him up, and Jack Ham comes to finish it.
McMillan is 18. Ron McBride, the fullback, 32. Joe Moore, 45. That's McBride, the fullback, with the football. And Staggers, 22. Defensively for Penn State, since we've been talking about their great defense, here is their lineup. It has been awesome, allowing less than 9 points a game. Ebersole, Reed, the All-American, Smear, and Hull, the front four. Then four linebackers, Jack Ham, 33, Dennis Oncox, another All-American, 35, Jim Cates, 55, and Mike Smith, number 10. The deep men, George Landis, 31, Neil Smith, 26, Paul Johnson, 47. McMillan has Shryock, his tight end, inside the 40. First down, Missouri.
We'll see Missouri going mostly with a three-man pass pattern. It's a simple delay, waiting for the linebackers to retreat. The tight end holds the line of scrimmage. When he sees the retreat is completed, he then goes underneath for the completion.
Scoreless ball game, first quarter, 1st and 10, Missouri on the Penn State 38. Mel Gray with 9-3 speed. Winner of the campus and break relays wide to the right. But this is Joe Moore busting up the middle. And a saving tackle by Jack Ham as they get down to the 30-yard line. Joe Moore, a very quick starter, a junior from St. Louis with a 5-yard average on the year. And I'm sure that you saw him in our pregame preliminaries run 62 yards against Michigan. A gain of 7, 2nd down 3 from the 31. McMillan to McBride, the fullback, and he's very close to a first down, inside the 30. Mike Reed, the All-American, number 68, made the tackle. First down for Missouri. Tonight's Orange Bowl game being brought to you in living color on NBC. If it's really special, it's on NBC.
At the tight end right now is Henry Brown, number 24. And with Henry Brown and Mel Gray to the same side, we're going to be looking for a cross pattern with Mel Gray going deep and Henry Brown taking it to the outside or over the middle.
Gray wide, but this is a running play off the left side. Ron McBride has nearly a 4-yard, but has carried much more thus far tonight than the man who usually does all of the work, Joe Moore. Although Moore has that big 7-yard pickup. A gain of 2 by McBride. It is 2nd and 8 at the 26. Mel Gray, wide right. Shryock, split left. Quick pitch. This is Moore and dragged down in the backfield by John Ebersole, number 89.
John Ebersole, 89, and Gary Hull, number 80, do flop. Gary Hull will always play the strong side. John Ebersole will play the weak. That was the play, Jim, that was so successful earlier. It was a simple pitch out, but you've got to beat that outside man.
3rd down, 11. No score. First quarter, 8:45 to go. Missouri with the football, sending Gray to the right, Shryock to the left. High formation. McMillan looking for Gray on the down and out and overthrows him at the 21-yard line. Defending back there was George Landis, the junior from Linwood, New Jersey, number 31, who has 5 interceptions on the year. Now Henry Brown is coming in on 4th down. Brown, who will try a field goal, has 71 points, has hit on 35 of 39 points after touchdown. Had 4 field goals against the Air Force. This will be from 47 yards out. No good, just short. And Penn State has held and will take over on the 20. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score remains Penn State nothing and Missouri nothing.
Bob Weber is thinking back. 10 years ago, he built this house for $20,000 and insured it for $20,000. He made some improvements, and each year, inflation made it worth more and more. In those 10 years, its value increased to $30,000. But Bob failed to increase his homeowner's insurance. Then it happened. Fire, and the house was destroyed. It will cost Bob $10,000 of his own money to replace it, because he was underinsured. There's no need for you to be underinsured, because an Allstate low-cost homeowner's policy can cover today's replacement value of your home for very little more than you're now paying. One modern package of protection, Allstate Deluxe Homeowners Insurance. Fire, theft, windstorm, personal liability. This low-cost package policy covers more home hazards than you can count. Talk to the good hands people. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Penn State, which had to kick the ball away the last time it had it, after picking up 1 first down, only to have Missouri march down and try a 47-yard field goal, now has the football on its own 20. Chuck Burkhart, the quarterback, played 20 games as a high school quarterback and 21 as a college quarterback and hadn't lost the game he started yet. Franco Harris goes straight ahead. A big sophomore from Monholly, New Jersey, 6'2", 229. And he's got nearly a 6-yard average. This time he picks up 3. Adam Vital, number 65, the junior from Houston, Texas, made the stop.
A big series for Penn State. Now, Penn State must consume time with this running offense because now they know Missouri's offense is great.
2nd down, 7 play. Burkhart's got the ball. He's got a man in the open. Edmonds across the 45. Greg Edmonds, the junior from Charleston, West Virginia. George Fountain made the tackle at the 46. It's 1st and 10, Penn State. Well, the Nittany Lions are not known as a passing ball club, but Burkhart has completed better than 51% of his passes, and yet all year long has only thrown 1 touchdown pass. Waddell Mitchell, number 23, wide left as the flanker. Charlie Pittman, the All-American, scrambling for yardage and goes into Missouri territory at the 49-yard line.
As we look at the Missouri defense, you'll notice how very tight the linebackers are playing. It's really a 4-4. There's even spacing up front. The cornerbacks play it rather tight. Dennis Pope is a very challenging kind of a safety man. It looks like a relatively easy team to pass against.
You'll note the right tackles. Vic Shermer, 78, is out of the ball game now, and Dave Joyner, 70, who is in it now, bring plays in from the bench for Penn State. That's Pittman, who was in motion. Burkhart looking, has Edmonds again at the 40. And down he goes at the 36 with George Fountain and Nip Weisenfeld hanging on to him. Edmonds, 20 catches on the year and 2 big ones tonight.
And there he is, Greg Edmonds. Fakes it, little hook. That's where you're going to hit. Number 55 was the linebacker who was taken out of there by a little swing by Charlie Pittman.
Time has been called on the field. Burkhart, talking to the referee, called Burkhart. And the time has been called by Penn State. So action will continue here at the Orange Bowl with the score remaining Penn State nothing and Missouri nothing.
Who's got the newest low-priced hardtop you can buy? Pontiac. Surprised? This is the T37 hardtop just introduced with Pontiac's great innovations like concealed radio antenna and wide track ride. Yet it's priced low enough so that now nearly everybody can afford to move up to the prestige of a Pontiac and the sportiness of a hardtop. T37, the newest low-priced hardtop you can buy. And above all, it's a wide-track Pontiac.
In 1965, we developed an experimental blade called EB7, stainless steel with a plastic coating. Today, we've developed a better blade. Not EB8, 9, or 10. It's EB11 with a new platinum alloy edge that's harder than stainless and more durable than chrome. To shave you not just cleaner, but smoother. EB11, we call it Gillette Platinum Plus. The blade you've always wanted, and more.
You see right, that is a lion on the side of the Nittany Lions of Penn State. And he's a real one. And over on this side, in a cage, is a tiger for the Missouri Tigers, and there he is. 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go, first quarter, and there's no score. And it looks as though they're looking around, possibly for a contact lens. Time was called. Burkhart went to the sidelines, and we came across what is now famous, a bunch of athletes walking around in a lot of green, looking down at the grass.
A little defensive change. Now we have John Brown, the outstanding sophomore, who ordinarily plays left defensive end, in at right, and Mike Bennett, 81, in at left.
First down from the 37 of Missouri. Pittman in motion, and the guard charged offside. Beating the count. The right side of the Penn State line, and that'll cost them 5 yards. Penn State's last loss was in the third game of the 1967 season by 2 points to UCLA. You can see that they have refused the illegal procedure penalty. The ball remains at the 40-yard line, which is a loss on the play, and they also lose the down. So now it is second down and 13. Edmonds, who's caught 2 passes for 35 yards, has put about 10 yards to the right. Mitchell slotted left, and that's Burkhart looking for Mitchell. Has him inside the 35, inside the 30, and close to a first down.
It's going to be impossible, really, to stop that slot man. The linebacker cannot cover him. It's a quick outside move. The flanker goes very deep. You'll see it now. He rolls out. Franco Harris is passing. He's wide open there. He gets pulled down from behind after eluding Pope. He gets pulled down right there. It's going to be a tough one to stop.
Penn State now on the mark with the ball at the 28. Edmonds right. This is Charlie Pittman, the All-American, and he gets inside the 25. Down to the 24 for 4 yards and a first down for Penn State. Pope and Lundholm made the tackle. Missouri will show you 6 men up front on their depth chart. Ends, tackles, and guards. 2 linebackers and 3 deep. But as Al has been telling you, many times those ends will drop off. Or linebackers will step in. Here goes Burkhart on first down, under a rush, and down he goes. Mike Bennett, the junior from Breckenridge, Missouri. Defensive end, knocks him down. That's Sam Adams getting up. Sam's father, Woody, played defensive tackle for Texas Christian in the Orange Bowl in 1942.
In the slot side, as we just saw, Mitchell lined up to the left side slot. We have Greg Edmonds split to the right side. It will mean that George Fountain is going to have to cover him man-to-man, and it's possible that the inside move, a good inside move by number 88, could find him wide open.
Al Fountain has now gone out, and Lorenzo Brinkley has come in, number 47 at the left corner. This is 2nd and 18, and that is Franco Harris, and look at that power. Almost a first down to the 15-yard line.
There's a great call. Double slot to the right side. Now watch the power of Franco Harris, and he is a big one. There's a great cross block right there. Pulls away from his man, and now he really shows great power.
Just simply moved out of the tackle, or the attempted tackle, of Adam Vital, number 65. Third down and a couple of yards. Charlie Pittman. Pittman gets close to the first down and may have it. Lundholm is over there to make the tackle, along with Vital. And the officials say first down for Penn State. No score. Ball at the 13-yard line. 4:30 to go. First quarter.
Again, it's always interesting to watch that off back. He's being led up in there with a great block. First of all, Bob Haluba, number 67, makes an outstanding block. And then the back, Don Abbey.
Well, Missouri wants to think things over. We'd like to remind you that on Sunday, this Sunday, January the 4th of 1970, the Kansas City Chiefs meet their rivals and the team that seems to always beat them, the Oakland Raiders, on January the 4th in the Oakland Alameda Coliseum for the American Football League Championship. The Raiders, if you haven't remembered this, really have the jinx on the Chiefs. They've beaten them 6 of their last 7 meetings. When these two get together, who knows, with the Super Bowl at stake. Tune in to NBC Sunday, January 4th. The Chiefs meet the Raiders for the American Football League Championship.
And a point on Chuck Burkhart's passing. We said it's about close to 52%, but tonight it's a little better. He's thrown 5 and he's completed 4.
Burkhart, the quarterback from McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, is rushing on the year, and he doesn't carry that often except when chased, is minus yardage. He has only completed 1 touchdown pass this year, but Penn State has won 10 without a loss. Lydell Mitchell goes wide left. Charlie Pittman hit as he gets to the line of scrimmage by Sam Adams, number 63, but picks up a couple of yards inside the 15.
Now let's keep in mind that Chuck Burkhart, though he's had that good percentage, yet has not thrown a touchdown pass, and I'm constantly amazed at how effective the tight end, Jim, can be. I know Pete Johnson is not used that much as a receiver, but he's a good one nonetheless.
Johnson, number 40, the tight end, has only 7 catches all year. Here's Burkhart looking, throwing for Johnson in the end zone, incomplete. Defended over there by Butch Davis. Number 40 of Penn State, Pete Johnson. Number 40 of Missouri, Butch Davis. And it's 3rd down and 8.
In talking to the Missouri coaches and the Penn State coaches, they pretty much confirm the fact that Butch Davis is probably the best defender on this great Missouri team.
Sirafisi has now come in to replace Edmonds. Burkhart back, looking on the screen, and Lydell Mitchell drops the football at the 23. The only touchdown pass that Burkhart has thrown this year, Pittman literally took it out of the arms of the defender. And don't think that Chuck doesn't hear about that. Mike Ritz, number 62, who has set a record at Penn State with 33 extra points and 37 tries, 7 for 14 field goals, and a record for a kicker of 54 points, will try this one from the 19-yard line. A try of 29 yards for the field goal. Ritz is successful, and Penn State goes out on top. 3-0 with a 29-yard field goal.
A very big march by Penn State. It was an important one. The first quarter this year, Missouri has scored 66 points in the first quarter against all opponents. Their big quarter, however, was their second, and that's 140 they've scored all year in the second quarter. And to reverse it a bit, Penn State has only given up 10 points all year in the first quarter, and they have scored their lowest number of points, 48 in the first quarter.
And we'll add one other thing for Missouri rooters everywhere. In the 9 Missouri victories, the Tigers have had to come from behind in 7 of those 9 games. Don Abbey, the senior fullback, will kick off. Mel Gray, number 21, and John Staggers, that's Gray 21, Staggers 22, and what a lot of speed they have, are deep. That's the fear that Penn State has constantly, the speed of some of these Missouri receivers and backs. High and short, chased across the way, and it is out of bounds. And they're coming back. We're waiting for the moment to see whether or not they caught the ball inbounds and stepped out, or whether simply the kick went out of bounds, which apparently it did, and that's a delay of the ball game penalty. And Abbey will kick off again, this time from the 35.
Jim, a point. As we look at this Missouri Tiger defensive unit, they're not big, extremely agile people. They do get to the passer fairly well, but let's take a look. Number 65, Vital, is 6 foot, 203 pounds. Sam Adams, 6 foot, 203 pounds. Steve Meiser, number 64, 6 foot, 203 pounds. And when Joe Hutman is in there, he's 6'1", 204. So I think, Jim, that side will get a lot of action.
Staggers and Gray have now moved up to about the 9-yard line. Penn State leading 3-0. 3:44 to go, first quarter. This is Gray, winner of the Kansas and Drake relays in the 100. 9.3 is his speed, and what a tackle he gets. Met head on a fine tackle by number 44, Charlie Adams.
Let's remember now that Missouri likes to go up top. They like to go with the bomb. Penn State knows it. Now, two interesting people in this Penn State defense besides Reed and Smear. Watch Dennis Oncott's 35 and Jim Cates, number 55.
Ball is at the 28. First down, 10, Missouri. Joe Moore's lost the football. Moore was hit, lost the football. And getting up with it, we believe, is number 47, Paul Johnson. Penn State has the football inside the 30 at the 28. A simple handoff to Moore, and he drops the football. Burkhart is calling for another player. He is without a fullback, and now Abbey comes in. Franco Harris, after his run that set up the field goal, went off limping. You saw him trotting along the sidelines there. Burkhart getting a block, throwing to Mitchell. What a block he got there. Steps around his man. Mitchell scores.
And there it is, a very simple pass pattern, but virtually impossible to cover with this defense. And the great block was number 40, Pete Johnson. Pete goes downfield, figure that the man might catch that football, Lydell, and then you see a great block. He takes advantage of the break. There's Mitchell wide open. Now watch number 40 cut back on Pope. And here goes Lydell Mitchell, a real good move, a brilliant play.
And now, Ritz in to try the extra point. It is good. And remember this, Chuck Burkhart has now thrown 2 touchdown passes, but only one in 1969. This is the first day of 1970. 10-0 Penn State. And Missouri, now with its striking power, it's been averaging 5 touchdowns a game, has its work cut out for itself. But we're still in the first quarter with 3:23 to go.
It sure does have its work cut out. And we keep talking about that rather simple pass pattern. Remember that Missouri is using a very tight 4-4 defense. That leaves you 3 in the secondary. If you send your tight end deep, the halfback will have to drop. You then take your slot back and you move him out into the flat. They're going to have to roll to that side of the football field, Jim, to be able to stop that pattern.
Don Abbey will kick off again to John Staggers, 22, and Mel Gray, 21. This is Gray again with all that speed, backing up to the 4. The 10. Simply runs around a man at the 15, and now is caught. And down he goes at the 21. Mel Gray has been averaging on his pass catches 27.1 yards per catch. He's had 26 catches. One of them 75 yards against Colorado. Steve Prue, a reserve left side linebacker, made the tackle. McMillan to the second man through, Joe Moore, who comes across the 25. Steve Smear makes the tackle, along with number 55, Jim Cates. We have been looking for the bomb from Missouri, but thus far it has not been forthwith.
Here's Joe Moore, and watch Steve Smear now. Strong, very strong.
Smear, a senior from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, plays right alongside of another great tackle, Mike Reed, the senior from Altoona, Pennsylvania. This is 2nd and 4, and that's Shryock, the tight end, flanked to the right. McMillan overthrows his man, number 24, Henry Brown, who is listed as a slot back. But both Brown and Staggers, listed as slot backs, will go in as tight ends.
Now, Penn State is playing Missouri for a deep passing game. You saw the big drop of about 5 men. We now might look for that little pass underneath to Shryout going for the first down, the delay over the middle.
This is 3rd down and 4, and this is where Missouri usually shines. They are great at converting 3rd down situations. And McMillan usually goes long. This time he goes short, overshoots his man Shryout, and it's 4th down, and Missouri will have to kick the ball away. Paul Johnson over to defend. The first time Missouri got the football, it marched right downfield, tried a field goal, and missed. Then Penn State got it back, marched down the field with a fine march. Mike Ritz converted with a 29-yard field goal. Moments later, Moore fumbled, and Burkhart passed 28 yards to Lydell Mitchell. Dennis Oncott goes back. Steve Kennemore will punt. Oncott's a linebacker, calls for a fair catch. He's a good safety man and has a lot of speed. Takes it inside the 30 at the 28.
There's Mike Reed now moving to the outside. This is good blocking, very good positioning. Mike tries to use his arms. Once that man gets to your body, though, you're pretty well beaten.
Well, Don Abbey has come back in. Franco Harris, the fine sophomore, is out. As we said, he was limping. But Abbey, the last time in for that one play, threw a magnificent block for Burkhart, enabling that touchdown pass to be gotten off. Mitchell wide left. First down, Abbey carries the football and gets to the 30. And that's all.
And, Jim, a very big series right now. It's only the first quarter, and yet they're 10 points behind. A big march here now by Penn State, or another score completely changes the game plan for Missouri.
Franco Harris will trot into your picture right there. He is all right and back in. Abbey goes out at fullback for Penn State. $1:50 to go in the first quarter. 10-0 Penn State. This is 2nd and 7. That is Franco Harris, who just came in, and Nip Weisenfeld stacks him up along with Steve Miser, the defensive right tackle, number 64. So it is 3rd down and long yardage.
And now you can be sure Missouri will be looking for that little lookout to the far side of the football field to Lydell Mitchell, but more than likely Chuck Burkhart will keep that for another time. The screen could be a real good call. The draw could be an excellent call.
Weisenfeld has gone out. Sam Britz, number 30, is coming as a linebacker for Missouri. Burkhart is in deep trouble. For the second time tonight, Mike Bennett, the senior from Breckenridge, Missouri, throws Burkhart in the backfield. 4th down and 17. Now, Bob Parsons, with that fine 40.6 average we told you about, with his kicking, really helped beat Colorado and Kansas State. Penn State has come to depend on this sophomore 3rd-string quarterback for his fine punting. That's John Staggers, who is deep. Oh, he drills this over Staggers' head, off his fingertip. Picks it up at the 15. And look at that speed. Saving tackle by Franco Harris at the 38-yard line. And Missouri, with the speed of John Staggers, bounces right back into the ball game.
Now, one thing about this kind of a kick is when you get that defense spread out, you get any kind of a gap or any kind of a relaxing moment, you can really break it. And this guy can go. Look at 22. Good tackle.
Penn State has decided to call a timeout. As off the field, Charlie Pittman is being helped. He's under his own power, but is led off the field. And he's their All-American halfback who broke all of the scoring records of the fabulous Lenny Moore at Penn State. 31 touchdowns in his career. Lenny Moore had 25. Also set a Penn State record for 186 points in his career. There is Terry McMillan of Coral Gables, Florida, the quarterback of Missouri, who broke most of Pitch and Paul Chrisman's records at that school in Columbia, and was a second-string quarterback at Coral Gables.
And now Mel Gray, number 21, becomes a very interesting member of this offensive team because the quarterbacks, like Chuck Burkhardt, when you get the break, you go right up top and you go up top to your best. Here it is in slow motion. He tries to field it over his head. You're going to get a beautiful view of this now. Gets away from the first man. Just great speed. And you're going to see a saving tackle by Franco Harris.
This is McMillan as we come back live, looking, throwing, intercepted. Gary Hall, the defensive end, returns the ball to the 47-yard line of Missouri. Hall with an outstanding defensive play. And McMillan is intercepted, and Penn State comes back as time has run out in the first quarter. And what a quarter. That's the end of the first quarter. The score, Penn State 10, Missouri nothing. The second quarter of the Orange Bowl game is brought to you by the DuPont Company.
This is one racing commercial that's not about tires or oil or gas or spark plugs. This one is about drivers like me and what somebody's doing to keep us alive.
The heat of a burning car can melt steel like a blast furnace. A driver needs clothing that will keep flame off so he won't be burned, and also to keep heat out so he won't get baked like a potato. DuPont makes a special high-temperature fiber, Nomex nylon, for protective clothing. We invented Nomex for anybody who could be exposed to fire and heat. Firemen, steelworkers, welders, and sometimes race drivers.
I know. I was wearing a suit of Nomex at Indy. My name is Mario Andretti. That's me getting out of the fire alive.
DuPont. There's a world of things we're doing something about.
Jim Simpson with Aldi Regattas back at the Orange Bowl in Miami, where the Penn Staters say they're number one. We've had a few questions. What's the significance of the Penn State Nittany line? The answer in a moment. It is first down 10 at the 48 of Missouri after the interception by Gary Hall. Again, the double slot right. Franco Harris picks up a yard or two. There is, overlooking University Park, Pennsylvania, a mountain called Mount Nittany. And these are the lions of Mount Nittany. These are the Nittany Lions.
One of the interesting things that I see with the Penn State team, they've done several different things. For instance, that double slot that you saw, and when we refer to a double slot, it's simply the wide end splitting out and two men, Pittman and Lydell Mitchell, in the hole.
There it is again on second down 9. This time the fake to Harris and the handoff to Charlie Pittman, who is all right. By the way, you might have seen in the replay of Stagger's fine punt return, Pittman was injured by a Penn State player falling on him. Penn State was offside on this play, and so the referee's talking to defensive captain Sam Adams.
And you know, these boys from Columbia, Missouri, Jim, are very tenacious. They may not be big, but they're mighty tough, and they're hanging in there. They're a bit outweighed by a bigger Penn State team defensively, but as we've indicated, they do hang in there. They fight extremely well and give great pursuit.
Coming back in is Vic Sherma, as Joe Paterno, coach of Penn State, continues to alternate his right tackles, bringing in plays. Lydell Mitchell, who caught a 28-yard touchdown pass, is wide left. This is a third down 6 play over the middle and intercepted by Lorenzo Brinkley. Across the 40 and knocked down on the 42. First and 10, Missouri. Charlie Zapek, the right guard, junior from Philadelphia, made the tackle.
And this is the man coming all the way over from the offside. That's a great interception. And that secondary moved extremely well. Pretty play.
Ball is on the 43.5-yard line. Penn State has got a couple of timeouts left. Missouri has 3 in this first half. And Missouri has the football, first down 10, trailing by 10 points.
And we might comment on that interception by Gary Hull. We indicated earlier that Gary Hull was playing the weak side, and John Ebersol was playing the strong. Another wrinkle that we see in this Penn State defense is that when a back comes out of that backfield, the weak side end is going to drop off into the short zone.
Mel Gray at the top of your screen with that 9.3 speed. Joe Moore looking for running room and gets out to the 45-yard line, a pickup of a little bit more than 2 yards. Steve Smear, number 76, is at the bottom of that heap.
As you watch the play of Paul Johnson, that threesome, that secondary of Landis, Smith, and Johnson, an excellent one, they give Mel Gray on the far side an awful lot of room. The short pass could work very well.
Second down 8. Joe Moore again slips out of the tackle of Steve Smear and runs into Dennis Uncotts, along with Jack Ham. Picks up a couple of yards across the 45 to the 47. And it is third down and about 6. Staggers now comes in a slot back for Henry Brown. And many times, Staggers, as we said, will line up as a tight end or will go to the top of the I. This time, he's lined up as a tight end on the far side. McMillan looking, throwing, intercepted by number 31, George Landis. The second interception of Terry McMillan at the 34-yard line, and a diving interception of that one.
And here we're going to see it from the end zone. Now the drops of Dennis Uncotts, the linebacker, forces the trajectory of the football a bit higher than he might want. And here is a great interception. You're going to see it all. Pretty. Hands right there. Cups, brings it into his body. Good going, George Landis.
A year ago, Terry McMillan was the most valuable player in the Gator Bowl against Alabama, and he didn't complete a pass. He was a running quarterback. This year, he has been a record-setting passing quarterback, but has been intercepted twice tonight. The fake pitch to Franco Harris. Burkhart goes up top, downfield, aiming for Charlie Pittman, broke it up on a fine play by Dennis Pope, number 28. Second down, 10.
Jim, we've been praising these defenses, and both have been brilliant. Dennis Pope has been brilliant. Lorenzo made just an extraordinary reception. Lorenzo Brinkley, number 47, interception rather. So it's been quite a defensive battle by two secondaries that indicate, at least to the opposing quarterback, that you should throw at it. And when they do, the defense reacts so very well.
Second down, 10. Greg Edmonds goes wide to the right. Double slot right again. Pittman and Lydell Mitchell sit in it. Again, the fake pitch to Franco Harris. Now he swings a pass out there to him, and he is being chased by Kuhlman. Gets away from him. Gets a block and gets across the 30 and out to the 35, 36-yard line. Nip Weisenfels and Dennis Pope made the tackle, along with Sam Adams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do apologize for the poor audio. There is nothing wrong with your individual sets. It's a problem that we're attempting to rectify, so we do ask your indulgence.
Tackle was made by Dave Joyner. And with 11:54 to go in the first half, 10-0 Penn State. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl with the score, Penn State 10 and Missouri nothing.
Hello, Billy.
This is Bob Blundell. Along with everybody else here in this Texas town, Bob used to have a big problem. Only maybe his was bigger because he runs a restaurant and the town's water was brackish. Its stained sinks, damaged pipes, and its smell and taste sure didn't do the cooking any good. But that's all in the past.
Morning, Bob. How's things this morning?
Because DuPont invented a way to improve brackish water. Permaset permeators, a series of cylinders that take the bad things out and make brackish water good. So a whole town's water supply can be improved. The DuPont system is fast and economical. Yes, things are looking up for everybody in Plains, Texas. Good water makes a lot of difference. DuPont, there's a world of things we're doing something about.
11 minutes, 54 seconds to go. That's the Missouri band. We're in the first half. First down 10 for Missouri. They trail 10-0. And again, our apologies to you for the audio problems that we had for a few moments. But everything now is cleared up once more. Mel Gray comes to the right. Number 21. McMillan hands to Moore, and Moore gets good running room down to the 35. He's a very quick starter. And there's a flag on the play back at the 43. And Missouri is walking back. That's Steve Smear talking to the officials. Offside, Penn State. So McMillan is now looking on. Referee Paul Bertha deciding whether or not he wants to play or the penalty. And since he loses 2 yards but gains a down, he's going to take the penalty, making it first down and 5.
A man to watch, and we saw him blocking on Mike Reed a little earlier, is Mike Carroll. Remember, number 66, the right tackle, is also an All-American.
First down. McMillan still got the football. He's a fine option runner. Across the 20. Neil Smith makes the tackle, tripping him up, and McMillan may be hurt inside the 10-yard line. He is not up yet, but now is getting up. Terry McMillan limping, and he's calling for time in order to work it out if he can. Smith tripped him up, and as he went flying through the air, Jack Ham leveled him with a tackle. The ball is at the 9, first and goal to go for Missouri, but their record-setting quarterback, McMillan, is limping. That's Coach Dan Devine with the glasses on, right there talking to him. And on the sidelines, you have Mike Farmer, a sophomore quarterback who has seen little action from Jefferson City. And they also have another sophomore, Chuck Roper, number 16. But McMillan says he's going back in. Now they're waving him out. Maybe only to talk over strategy.
Now you wonder what the strategy will be with Mike Farmer going in there. The logic would indicate that the man will run the football, and more than likely, with the great fake that Terry McMillan put on to Joe Moore, where everyone went after Joe Moore on that last option, and there goes Terry McMillan back in. This is too big a chance for him.
Well, to play before the home folks, he's from Coral Gables, and in the Orange Bowl, they're not going to give up that easily. Missouri now with a bona fide chance to get on the scoreboard. Mel Gray wide left. Shryock wide right. There's Moore hurtling down to the 7-yard line. Right over Steve Smear, who upended him. It'll be second down, goal to go. Moore is a junior, and is now coming out, and the dangerous John Staggers, the senior from Jefferson City, the offensive captain, number 22, comes in. That means there is more wide speed in the backfield. And now it is not Diaz. Quick pitch to Staggers. He can throw the football. Does. No good. Across the way, intended for John the Jet Henley, number 80.
And now John Henley stays in the football game, although I don't think so. Shryock is going back in. Joe Moore is going in. Staggers stays on. John Henley comes off. Henry Brown comes off.
11:06 to go. First half of the 1970 Orange Bowl. It's 10-0 Penn State with Missouri on the 7-yard line. Third down. Pitch, and down goes Gray. The football is loose. Penn State has the football. That is John Ebersol. Boy, they knew that play was coming. Mel Gray, a wide receiver, coming around to take the pitch from McMillan, was leveled, dropped the football, and here it is again.
And the one thing you never do is take the fake, especially if you're weak side. There's a great hit by number 89, Ebersol, and he pulls the ball away, makes the tackle, and recovers the fumble. Not bad.
Well, Missouri has suffered 2 interceptions and now has lost its second fumble. The ball is on the 22, and the Nittany Lions of Penn State have it. Double slot right. The fake to Franco Harris. Burkhart knew he was going to be buried there. And again, Mike Bennett is in first. Adam Vital, a linebacker, also came in, but it was Bennett who forced the play, and he's having quite an evening at defensive end for the Tigers. Again, other bowls today. The Rose Bowl won by Southern California 10-3 over Michigan. The Sugar Bowl, Mississippi 27, Arkansas 22. The Cotton Bowl, Texas scoring in the final minutes to upend Notre Dame 21-17. Second down 16. Burkhart fires it, has Johnson, his tight end, who drops the football at the 24. Would have not been nearly enough for the first down. Lundholm, number 55, the linebacker, had dropped off to defend. 10:20 now left, and Penn State with a big third down 16 situation. Missouri, of course, had a third down at the 7 and lost the ball and the fumble. And on third down again, Bob Parsons comes in, apparently, to kick. Ball takes a Missouri bounce and is downed at midfield by Charlie Pittman. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score remains Penn State 10 and the Tigers of Missouri nothing.
If all the oranges on an orange tree could be made to drop off by themselves on schedule, it would make harvesting easier and save a lot of waiting around. At DuPont, we've been trying to find ways of doing things like that as part of a long-range research program to develop chemicals that can actually change the way plants grow and so help ease some of the world's food problems. At DuPont, we've also been experimenting with wheat, corn, and rice to produce bigger and better crops. And we're trying to loosen up oranges, so instead of being picked by hand, they'll all ripen together and all drop off at once.
Well, not this time.
We're still working on it. DuPont, there's a world of things we're doing something about.
10 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the first half. This ball game is nearly an hour old, and we still have 10 minutes of playing time to go in the half. The ball at the 49-yard line. McMillan, running better, trots on field. Missouri has the football at its own 49, first down 10. There's been a 29-yard field goal by Mike Ritz of Penn State and a 28-yard pass from Burkhart to Lydell Mitchell. There's McMillan floating the ball out, and trying to catch it is John Staggers. And again, Gary Hall, who has an interception tonight, was dropping off from his defensive left end spot. Helping out the left cornerback, George Landis.
And the way he's dropping off Gary Hull with that one receiver coming out of the backfield with Gary Hull dropping off, it's going to be very tempting for Terry McMillan to keep it himself and run to that side.
That's Mel Gray walking toward you. Second down 10. Flag goes down, and there's a pass thrown, but nobody's in the area except for Mike Smith, the outside linebacker at Penn State. An illegal procedure or motion is being charged against Missouri, and McMillan took a real shot after releasing that football. Terry has done so many things this year. Listen to these Missouri records. Most passing yardage, 1,963. Most total yards, 2,157. Most touchdown passes, 18. They refused the penalty. Most passes attempted, 233. Most passes completed, 105. And a one-game record against Kansas, 4 touchdowns and 317 yards. Tonight, he's looking for some measure of that kind of success. Now John the Jet Henley is in, and wide to the right, number 80. McMillan throwing a screen over the head of McBride. And let me tell you that Gary Hull, number 80, was right up there. Hull that time crashing from his end position instead of dropping off.
And on that play, Joe Moore makes a good fake right up the middle. He doesn't, that's Terry McMillan, does not go to Joe Moore, although Joe was wide open deep.
Fourth down. 9:57 to go. Steve Kennemore is in to do the kicking. McMillan is 1 for 9. 2 interceptions. Dennis Oncox is the deep safety man for Penn State. Check that. Paul Johnson now goes back along with Oncox. There are 2 of them. Steve Kennemore to kick from his 39. High. That's Johnson watching it hit. And it's out of bounds inside. Well, right at the 10-yard line, apparently. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl with the score remaining. Penn State 10 and the Missouri Tigers nothing.
You have the Gordon test results yet? Tonight. All right, I'll be waiting in my office. Thank you.
Some things give your doctor answers right away. Some don't. Like laboratory tests on blood and other body fluids. Sometimes he might have to wait for hours, even days, to get the answers needed to diagnose the problem. That's because there just aren't enough trained people to do the tests, and tests themselves keep getting more complicated. DuPont is doing something about it. Right now, we're developing an instrument, the automatic clinical analyzer, that operators can work with little training. It can handle up to 30 different kinds of tests and turn out accurate results automatically in minutes, day or night. When DuPont's automatic clinical analyzer is ready for installation in laboratories, it will cut down on the doctor's waiting time, and yours. DuPont. There's a world of things we're doing something about.
We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Nine minutes, 49 seconds to go in the half. The ball is at the 10.5-yard line. First down for Penn State. Burkhardt has been thrown 3 times for 27 yards. Back to throw this time. Has his man Johnson, who cannot hold on to the football at the 25. Hit by Dennis Pope and dropped the ball.
There was a little change in the pass pattern. The slot man, Lydell Mitchell, number 23, takes it short. Butch Davis covers him very nicely. He then goes to Pete Johnson. That's Burkhardt to Johnson, covered very well by Dennis Pope.
Johnson, a year ago, was a linebacker. And Gary Hull, who is having the tremendous night defensively that he's having, a year ago was a starting linebacker. Now a defensive end. Second down 10. Franco Harris hit immediately at the line of scrimmage. On a fine play at the line, and getting up is number 81, Mike Bennett again. Third down, at the 11, and 9 to go.
Now let's remember that Lydell Mitchell and Pete Johnson combination did take 2 safety men out of there, leaving that middle pretty well open.
They've added another halfback, George Fountain. Anticipating pass, but it is not a pass. It is Charlie Pittman getting across the 20-yard line and very close to a first down. They will measure. Burkhart, unlike McMillan's 1 for 9, is 5 for 12, had 1 interception, and of course has thrown that 1 touchdown to Lydell Mitchell. They made a fine run after getting some fine blocks. Now let's see whether or not Penn State got the first down. They didn't miss it by much. And Parsons comes on to kick with the ball at their 20.5-yard line and leading by 10 points. With still nearly 9 minutes to go in the first half. The Nittany Lions will kick the ball hopefully out of danger, but there goes John Staggers, whom we've seen already make 1 fine punt return. Long count. Parsons can really boom that football, driving Staggers back near the 30-yard line. There he goes again. Ran into his own man. Gets a beautiful block across the 40. Cuts to the outside and is hauled down from behind by Lydell Smith. Mitchell makes the saving tackle at the 20, and with 8:20 to go in the half, Staggers again puts Missouri in scoring territory.
And if you want to watch an absolutely brilliant run, why don't you just kind of sit back and enjoy this one? This is John Staggers. Let's watch them together. Here comes Mitchell now to make the saving tackle.
Now back live, and the fullback, Ron McBride, carries. That is Staggers getting a chance to just sit down and take a breather. Mike Reed made the tackle.
And we have yet to see the brilliant number 21, Mel Gray. And he was wide open over the middle from the wide spot. He's now moving out to the right side. 2nd down and 8. McMillan fakes, throws, intercepted again by Dennis Oncott, the All-American, who has speed. Back to the 41-yard line. McMillan suffers his 3rd interception of the night. And the Nittany Lions defense has done it again. Oh, now you know why this guy's an All-American. A perfect drop, perfect place, right in front of Henry Brown. And now he shows speed that linebackers are supposed not to have.
Ball is at the 41. What a ball game. By the way, the score is 10-0. Penn State. The first play of the night, Penn State came out in the shotgun. We should have known then it was going to be that kind of night. 2nd man through, Charlie Pittman, the All-American, now across the 50 down to the 47-yard line of Missouri.
And at the line of scrimmage, Bob Haluba pulling from his left guard, makes a fine block. Pittman sees the hole, now closing. He then takes it to the outside. A brilliant run. Keep your eye on the guard pulling. There's 67, makes the block. Good block. Good run. 24.
Dan Borgard, 83, replaces John Brown, 89. Burkhart back to throw. Throws off the hands of his intended receiver, Pittman, at the 43-yard line. Over to defend was Dennis Post.
Now we've seen 3 big marches, all in scoring position by Missouri, stopped. One by an interception by Gary Hall. That fumble recovery and a great play by Ebersol. And then Oncott, after that brilliant run by Staggers, Oncott's interception.
From the 48, 2nd down and 10. Lydell Mitchell just does get back to the line of scrimmage. Missouri defense rises up, led by Mark Kuhlman, number 79. And Steve Miser, the tackle's pinching on him as he hit the line of scrimmage. Greg Edmonds, the split end, trots back in. Called it. Greg has gone out, and Serafisi has come in. Pittman has carried the ball 9 times for almost a 5-yard average. He has gained 44 yards. This is a 3rd down, 10 play. Burkhardt under pressure, fires, and it's no good. Johnson, the tight end, can't hold on to it, and what a job Dennis Pope is doing on him tonight. Number 28, and it is 4th down. And Parsons comes on to kick again. 6 minutes, 32 seconds to go. We are still in the first half, which is more than an hour old. There goes John Staggers, and we'll say it one more time. He hasn't disappointed us the last 2 times. What a punt return man he is.
And now if you're Parsons, you've got to consider kicking it out of bounds away from this man.
Kicks it straight on a line, and Staggers has it at the 3. This time he goes down at the 7. Serafisi was one of the first men to hit him, to slow him up, along with Tom Jackson, the offensive captain. Missouri's got the ball, but a long way to go. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score remains Penn State 10, and the Missouri Tigers nothing.
This is one racing.
Keep flame off so he won't be burned, and also to keep heat out so he won't get baked like a potato. DuPont makes a special high-temperature fiber, Nomex nylon, for protective clothing. We invented Nomex for anybody who could be exposed to fire and heat. Firemen, steel workers, welders, and sometimes race drivers.
I know. I was wearing a suit of Nomex at Indy. My name is Mario Andretti. That's me getting out of the fire alive.
DuPont. There's a world of things we're doing something about.
Now from 92 yards away, with that amount of time, 6 minutes, 22 seconds left in the half, Terry McMillan, 1 for 10 with 3 interceptions, will try to get his Missouri Tigers on the scoreboard. They've been averaging 5 touchdowns a game. They are the slight favorites. Gray comes to the right. Straight ahead goes Ron McBride, the fullback, who gives him a little room with which to work, getting out near the 15-yard line. Tackle was made out there by Jack Ham, who's getting up rather slowly.
And the thing you rarely see, although it's a calculated risk, is the safety blitz. And just then, number 26, Neil Smith, was pulling the safety blitz going up the left side.
This time, Mel Gray, that 9.3 speedster, is about 15 yards flanked to the left. But the ball instead is handed to Joe Moore, who gets across the 15, out to about the 17, and shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and short yardage.
And if you want to see defense that is really interesting, you've got to look at the way Paul Johnson played Mel Gray. Paul goes up to Mel Gray at the line of scrimmage. Neil Smith must drop off minimum of 25 yards.
5 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the half. They're a yard away from a first down. Henley is in. And down goes Joe Moore. Brilliant defensive play by the left side of that Penn State line. And that is Mike Reed, number 68, the Outland Trophy winner, along with Jim Cates. Now they're going to see whether or not Moore got far enough to get the first down. He's got it. So now 5 minutes and 6 seconds left in the half. And Missouri with the first down at its own 18-yard line, trailing by 10.
Now, Terry McMillan will probably keep the football on the ground, but remember that this John Henley, number 80, runs some brilliant patterns, and an inside move could be wide open for him.
Henley is wide left, and Mel Gray, their fine pass catcher, is not in there. That is Joe Moore getting out to the 20. Mike Reed again getting up from the tackle, along with Dennis Oncock. Well, that's a couple of reasons why Penn State has such a rugged defense. The two men I mentioned are both first-string All-Americans.
And there's Mike Reed, a very strong man. Goes behind the blocker. Good tackling and helped out by 35 on touch.
2nd down and 8 from the 20. McMillan, little flare pass to Joe Moore, and Mike Smith tried to drag him down and did not get him. Moore has speed. Ham has the angle on him and throws him down. First down inside the 45-yard line of Penn State. They'll mark it at the 40.
And the one thing you don't do is arm tackle this man. Now you'll see some power. There goes one, there goes two, and he almost goes all the way. The good angle here by Jack Ham, 33.
Despite the 3 interceptions and the 2 fumble recoveries by Penn State, Missouri, with a score here, can go to the locker room in this ball game. Straight ahead goes McBride, their fullback, gets inside the 35-yard line. Reed again in on the tackle, again with Dennis Oncock.
And the influence of a Joe Moore is, and Joe's coming out, John Staggers is going in, but the influence of a Joe Moore, Joe just went on a fake move to the outside, which forces a linebacker to respect him, and then they hit up there with the front man in the eye very quickly.
Mel Gray with a 27-yard average per catch and 9 touchdown passes is along the sideline. Henley is in the game, and here goes Staggers. And did he run into a fine tackle by George Landis? Number 55, Cates, had him around the ankles, and Landis came up along with Smear to give him a real shot. But the ball is on the 31-yard line. And it's 3rd down and a yard. 3:10 left in the half. By the way, when we say the half, remember this is the Orange Bowl, and don't you dare leave at halftime. What a nighttime spectacle to see. Staggers again. Looks like he got the first down inside the 30. First down for Missouri.
And now with that defensive unit closing, because the middle has been penetrated, you always have the risk of Terry McMillan faking that handoff and keeping it as he did earlier for a great run.
And Mel Gray has come in and has gone to the top of your screen. McMillan looking over the middle, has his man. Shryock inside the 15-yard line. First down, Missouri at the 12. Dennis Oncock made the tackle. Tom Shryock, the senior from Fredericktown, had 15 catches on the year for 2 touchdowns. The tight end has given Missouri a first down at the 13. Remember, Missouri was 3rd down on the 7, but lost the football on a fumble.
And you wonder how many times this defense of Penn State can stop the Missouri Tigers. They've been moving the football. You've seen as diversified an offense as you'll see. You've got Shryock with 93 yards now, and he's not their best receiver. 93 yards on 2 receptions. I'm sorry, Shryock has 2 receptions for 30 yards. He happens to be number 93.
While you're doing that, I was trying to say that the one on the left is not the real Tiger. The Nittany Lion across the way, and of course the Tiger on this side of Missouri. Lions against the Tigers, and at the moment the Lions are winning and the Tigers are threatened. 2 minutes 40 seconds to go. First half, 10-0 Penn State, but Missouri has the ball 1st and 10 on the 12. I think you can see the Tiger line there on the Missouri side of the field. Mel Gray. We keep pointing out his name because you keep expecting something to happen involving that young man. Flag goes down. Moore's got the football and down to about the 11. Steve Smear made the tackle along with Jack Ham. And it is Missouri that is walking backwards.
Now, let's also keep in mind that when number 24, Henry Brown, is in that football game and you have 2 tight ends, you must never underestimate the speed of Mr. Brown because he can really fly.
Brown caught 7 passes during the regular season. And his average per catch, 17.3 yards. First down, but now make it 15 from the 17-yard line at Penn State. Shryock splits to the left. Gray flanks right. McMillan hands the ball to Moore, who is inside the 10. And I want to tell you, a few Penn Staters took that fake. Gary Hull made the tackle.
That's a great draw fake. It's a lead fake. Ron McBride, number 32, leads up in there, and he's probably the most dependable man on the field. Number 32. There's the fake. There goes McBride right in front of Joe Moore. They hit the hole to the outside. Watch McBride powering into his man, driving him back.
It'll be second down and 6 from the 8-yard line when play is resumed. But in the meantime, Terry McMillan comes back.
Say again.
McMillan's longest touchdown pass was to Mel Gray, 75 yards. Also carried the ball 87 times himself. Joe Moore has carried the ball 10 times for a 3.7-yard average, 37 yards. Coach Dan Devine, John Staggers, and Terry McMillan huddling on the sideline.
Now the corner linebackers become very important. Jack Ham, 33. Mike Smith, number 10. We've got to figure that Gary Hall and John Ebersol will be closing to try to take away that middle and support Mike Reed and Steve Smear in the middle. That means that Ham and Smith will have to watch anything going to the outside. And as they come up, you're really looking at not a 4-4, but more a 6-2.
Missouri, second down 6 at the 8 of Penn State, trailing by 10 points, 2:17 to go in this extra long first half. But what an exciting half it has been. McMillan hit back across the 15-yard line, and look who's got it. The Outland Trophy winner, Mike Reed, and right tackle, Steve Smear, also All-America mention. Well, Reed, we said, has won the Maxwell Trophy as the outstanding player in the country, and has also won the Outland Trophy, voted to the outstanding interior lineman in the country. And again, Missouri calls timeout.
Mike Reed has the instinct of a great pass rusher. The great pass rusher, when he goes off the ball, the one thing he must not do is be hit by that offensive man. He tries to avoid any kind of contact, uses his hands, loops around them. Occasionally, he is vulnerable to the draw, especially if he's making a loop to the outside.
I think many people know this, Al, but Reed is a concert pianist and composer. And they tell me he can play a 33-page Tchaikovsky piano concerto by heart. Terry McMillan, who would dearly love to perform well before his hometown folks, having gone to Coral Gables High as a reserve quarterback, now to come on to break most passing records of Missouri, has the word on third down 15 from the 17-yard line.
And Henley's in the football game now. Shryock is out, so the speed is in there.
Henley, number 80 at the top of your screen. Gray, number 21 at the bottom. And McMillan is going to throw to one up. Over the middle and over the head of Henley. And he was triple teamed. Look at all the Penn State folks back there. 2, 4, 6, 7 with 2 receivers. 7 Penn Staters, a rush of 3 men. Al's been telling you, Missouri just figures keep most of the folks in the backfield and give McMillan time, and our speed will beat him. Now, Missouri will try its second field goal of the night from the 23. It'll be a 33-yard field goal if good by Brown, and it is good, and Missouri is on the scoreboard with a 33-yard field goal by Henry Brown of Middleton, Pennsylvania. Well, the Senior Bowl is a week from Saturday, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 Central, the North against the South. And this year, the North is coached by Lou Saban of Denver, and the South by Don Shula, the Baltimore Colts. This is the first time in Senior Bowl history that American Football League and National Football League coaches opposed each other in the Senior Bowl, and I might add the last time, too, because as of next year, they're going to be the American and National Conferences. Gary McMillan will be over there, Charlie Pittman, Terry Bradshaw, the fabled quarterback from Louisiana Tech, Steve Connor of Tennessee, Ted Coy of #1 ranked Texas. Brown will kick off. Pittman is in the middle. Harris and Mitchell are back with him. Franco Harris at the 7. The 15. Powerful and big, and he gets across the 25 out to the 27.
Now we'll probably see Missouri playing it very tight, playing the fact that with 1:51 to go here in the second quarter, Penn State will probably keep the football on the ground, but probably doesn't mean a great deal in this kind of a game. You take your chances when your chances come, and if they're jamming on you, not a bad idea to go way up top.
1 minute, 51 seconds to go in the half. Burkhardt is 5 for 14, thrown for a touchdown, 1 interception. There's the double slot right. Burkhardt is going up in the air, throwing for Mitchell at the 30, and run out of bounds near the 35-yard line. Nip Weisenfeld, the linebacker, and Lorenzo Brinkley ran him out of bounds.
Steve Lundholm, when we see that double slot to the either side, will have the responsibility of the remaining back. He'll be looking for draw to number 34, Franco Harris.
That was a gain of 8 at second down 2. Harris straight ahead and more than enough for the first down across the 35 out to the 37.5-yard line. Franco Harris, the Penn Staters feel, will be a great one. The sophomore, 6'2", 229, and I'm sure you notice that the Lions are hurrying things up with time running out in the first half. That ball is batted down, and guess who? Mike Bennett again, number 81. Tremendous evening at defensive end. 6'3", 207 pounds. 1 minute, 7 seconds left. It's second down 10.
And now we'll see that Missouri secondary in a prevent defense. They're not going to want to be beaten deep. The short pattern becomes the more effective one. The fact that a screen is always a possibility in this kind of a situation. We're going to see a big rush from both defensive ends, so the screen is a possibility.
10-3, Penn State, first half. Charlie Pittman doesn't need much of a hole, and he's almost got another first down. Weisenfeld again makes the tackle along with the other linebacker, Steve Lundholm, number 55. State again quickly to the line of scrimmage.
Another great block by Haluba. Beautiful trap.
Double wing this time. Burkhardt throwing has Pittman, who now runs out of bounds to stop the clock at the 48 with 44 seconds to go. Over there quickly with him was Adam Vital and Dan Borgard. Charlie Pittman, 6'1", 195, who said this year he would like, well, 1969, he would like to be an All-American. He got his wish. First down at the 48-yard line of Missouri. Burkhardt under tremendous rush again. And down he goes, thrown by John Cowan, the right defensive tackle, a sophomore from Springfield, Missouri. Clock is running, and now is stopped.
John Cowan makes the kind of play you like to see made. He also puts a great rush on, does not get hit. You notice there he just moves the man aside and gets to the passer.
Cowan starting at right tackle, or rather playing at right tackle, of another sophomore from Kansas City, Steve Meiser. Penn State can't stop the clock by calling a timeout anymore. They have run out. That was Lundholm over talking to his coach. And there's the Missouri defense with 34 seconds on the clock, second down and 19.
And now the short football field becomes important. What they'd like to do now is to get that ball down to the 30, 35-yard line. So Pete Johnson could be a very significant man here. They'll probably go also with the down and outs because of the fact there are no more timeouts. They'll try to consume as much time as possible.
Charlie Wilson has come in for Charlie Pittman. Wilson wears number 41. Burkhardt, Wilson's going across the line, and the ball is overthrown, intended for Franco Harris. Wilson was slipping out of the backfield, going out to the 50. Burkhardt now has been thrown 4 times for 35 yards. The incomplete pass stops the clock. 3rd down 19 with 31 seconds left in the half. Amazing record of Chuck Burkhardt. I remember in last year's Orange Bowl game against Kansas, we kept repeating what the Penn State folks were saying. He doesn't throw that accurately. He doesn't run that well, but he always wins. And they're saying the same thing again this year, and Penn State is winning again. Franco Harris straight up the middle, across the 45, with the clock running now. Questionable whether or not we'll get another play in this, the first half, which has taken nearly an hour and a half to play. But I want to tell you, we have seen some thrills. Coming up is the pageantry of the Orange Bowl at halftime, plus, of course, the marching of the Penn State and Missouri bands. 5 seconds to go. They will not get another playoff in this, the first half. The second quarter of today's game has been brought to you by the DuPont Company. Halftime activities will begin from the Orange Bowl after this pause for station identification.
The Chiefs meet the Raiders for the AFL Championship Sunday at 3:30, 2:30 Central Time.
Jim Simpson with Al DeRogatis. It is halftime, and that is always the time that we enjoy here at the Orange Bowl. Pageantry, but first, as a part of that pageantry, the Penn State Blue Band.
Under the direction of Dr. James W. Dunlop, with Dr. Ned C. Deal, Associate Director. Musical arrangements are by John Patchenhorst. At the
Jim Simpson back at the Orange Bowl in Miami where the score is 10-3, and with the statistics as Penn State comes on the field, here is Al DeRogatis.
There are a couple of interesting ones there. You see the first downs, 8-9, Penn State there, but the rushing yardage is 92 to 48. You'd figure Missouri, that has a great rushing team, would do very well. The passing, Penn State has got the lead there, which is interesting in itself, since they say that Burkhardt, although we've been commenting that he does throw very successfully, the probably most significant thing of the statistics are the statistics that reflect on the interceptions, which were so important. The statistics that talk about the number of fumbles. There were 2 big fumbles that stopped Missouri marches. One recovered by Paul Johnson that led to the Lydell Mitchell score. Another, a great play by John Ebersol on the reverse to Mel Gray. He not only tackles Gray, but makes him fumble, and then he recovers it. All in all, Jim, what we figured was a fine offense going against a great defense. The defense has been bending a little bit, but nonetheless, it's been hanging on in there. So 10-3, and I've got to believe this is going to be a sensational second half.
Well, the scoring in the first half, a 29-yard field goal by Mike Ritz of Penn State, and a 28-yard pass play from Burkhardt to Mitchell to make it 10-0 at the end of the quarter. Then with less than 2 minutes to go in the half, Henry Brown kicked a 33-yard field goal to make it 10-3, and that's where we are now. Penn State will kick off to Missouri. That is Don Abbey. And going back, and I hope you were with us for that first half, because John Stackers, number 22 on punt returns, really showed us something. And we keep waiting for the explosive little Mel Gray, the other man back there with him, to happen. 10-3 Penn State. The Lions kick off to the Tigers of Missouri. Stackers at the 11. There he goes again out near the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 38, and he very nearly broke another one. 1st and 10 Missouri from the 38. Tackle was made by Charlie Adams. Second time he's made a tackle on a kickoff today, and those are snowballs being thrown by the 12,500 Penn State supporters who are down here. And I've got to believe that they're happy to be in 75-degree weather, as it is now in beautiful Miami. McMillan still got the football, now pitches out, and down goes Stackers. After a gain of a couple of yards to the 41, we'll call it 2nd down and 7. Temperature today, in case you didn't hear us, and I don't mean to rub it in, but under sunny skies here in beautiful Miami was 80. And at game time tonight, 75. We've had, I think we had a sprinkle yesterday morning, but clear skies all week long. Second down play. Second man is Joe Moore, number 45. He's out near the 45-yard line. Moore is 45. McBride, the fullback, is 32. McMillan, the quarterback, is 18. Staggers, slot back, who plays tight end, is 22. Mel Gray, split end, is 21. Shryock, the tight end, is 93. Carolyn Jackson, the tackles. Kephart and Kelly, the guards. And Wilson, the center. Now Brown has moved in for Staggers. On third down 5. And Henley has come in and is wide right. Third and 5, and Moore tries to get it and does not. Joe Moore, tackled by Jack Ham and Steve Smear.
And they're really popping in there. That Ron McBride can really block. And Laren Jackson, number 75, another fine offensive tackle. Those two tackles for Missouri Jim are really good. Mike Carroll, we mentioned before, number 66. Laren Jackson, number 75. Both excellent blockers.
Steve Kennemore comes in, and Dennis Oncotts and Paul Johnson go deep. Kennemore's kick is a boomer. Johnson watches a hit go over his head and into the end zone for the touchback. They'll come out to the 20, first and 10 for Penn State, which leads in this ball game 10-3. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
All right, let's go. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
13 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the third quarter. For Penn State, Burkhardt is 22, the quarterback. Lydell Mitchell, 23. Franco Harris, the fullback, 34. Charlie Pittman, 24. And that is Pittman across the 25. Out to the 26. A pickup of 6 on the play. Weisenfeld, number 26, a linebacker, tripped him up. Second and 4.
A simple trap by Charlie Zapak, number 60. The left guard coming right, a great block.
Mitchell sets in the slot left. Pittman ran into his own blocker, Franco Harris, number 34. And didn't pick up much yardage. It'll be third down and about 3. Joe Hoffman, number 84. The end on the right side made the tackle. Now third and short yardage. Oh, Franco Harris is really nailed by Adam Vital, number 65.
This one kind of hurt me. Watch this. Oh.
And I think I said 65. Vital, make it Lundholm 55 with that kind of tackle. He deserves the proper credit. Oh, Bob Parsons comes in to do the kicking. And there's Staggers back. What punt returns he had in the first half. Inside the 20. And not going very far. Fine play by Charlie Pittman across the way. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score, Penn State 10 and Missouri 3.
All right, Mr. Hemmings, are you ready for the big one?
Yes.
All right, name that price, and it's all yours. This beautiful brand new 1970 Pontiac Le Mans.
This Le Mans has hidden windshield wipers, hidden radio antenna, bias-belted white walls, deluxe wheel covers, and above all, it's a wide-track Pontiac.
$3,500?
You're way too high.
Impossible!
The manufacturer's suggested retail price for this Le Mans is actually under $2,800.
It's just you and him. What a day. And when it's over, you know what tastes great?
Yeah, me and my Winstons. Me and my Winstons. We got a real good thing, a real good day. Yeah, me and my Winstons, we got a real good thing.
Along the sidelines is Warren Kogel. His right knee apparently is hurt. The starting offensive center for Penn State. And the other day in practice, Kogel was down also favoring that right knee, but after a brief rest went on back to practice. But it's Missouri's football on the 21. McMillan to Joe Moore. Moore runs into Dennis Oncotts first of all, and then Jack Ham followed up. Oncotts is 35 and Ham is 33. Moore before that had carried 12 times for 43 yards. He caught a pass for 40 yards. Picked up a couple of more there. Second down. 10:53 to go, third quarter. There goes Mel Gray. We've been saying it all night, and thus far, nothing has happened. First man through is Jim Harrison in the lineup for the first time. 6'4", 238, a junior, and hampered most of the year with injuries.
And that almost broke all the way. For the second time, we saw the safety blitz. Neil Smith, number 26, coming up, runs right by, ran right by Harrison. Harris almost goes all the way.
This time it is Moore, the second man through. That's a big hole. Jack Ham, the first to hit him. Number 33. A gain of 3 yards. It'll be second down and 7 at the 40 of Missouri.
There's the hole opening up, and Ham closing with Oncotts very rapidly.
Gray is wide to the right. McMillan looking. Gray is open over the middle. McMillan can't see him and is now being chased and going the wrong way. Wall forming on this side. Back to the 30, the 40, and out of bounds at the 45. A gain of about 5 yards after running perhaps 45 yards. John Staggers, you can see right there, is now going into the lineup, whispers something to McMillan. Third down and short yardage, about 3. Henry Brown trots out. Again, Gray to the right. Harrison and Moore, the setbacks. Play action with McMillan holding on to the football and getting the first down, going into Penn State territory. Well, we'll repeat again. A year ago in the Gator Bowl, McMillan was the most valuable player for his running. This year, he has been a passing quarterback. The officials, for some reason, were looking to see whether or not it was a first down. It was a first down by about 4 yards. McMillan has now carried the ball 3 times, and for a fine average, he's gained a total of 38 yards.
Missouri has a great fake off of that double dive. The first one blocks. The second one looks like he's going to draw, and then suddenly we see a screen break out to the outside.
Missouri trailing by 7 with the first down. There's Harrison again, and is he strong? Still on his feet. Jack Ham met him, helped out by Oncotts and Jim Cates. A gain of a yard. Second down and 9. Now you can see that John the Jet Henley is checked in, and Gray is coming out. Henley is a sophomore from San Bernardino, California. Caught 4 touchdown passes, and his average per catch better than 16 yards. McMillan has the football dragged down from behind. Fine defensive play by John Ebersole, the left end, who was right there as he went by. Number 89. And now it is third down at about 8. 8 minutes left. Now McBride comes back in. Harrison will come out, and Mel Gray goes in, but Henley stays in. So now we've got the speed of Henley and Gray as Shryock, the tight end, comes out. On 3rd and 8. Henley, the bottom of your screen, Gray at the top. And McMillan back to throw. Throws for Henley. Intercepted by Neil Smith, the All-American. Down the sidelines and out of bounds on the 41. And there is another interception charged to Terry McMillan.
An absolutely great play also. You're going to see good coverage in front of him. Paul Johnson is in perfect position. Neil Smith hawking the ball, comes over the top, very pretty, pulls it down and runs it back. And this man was simply a walk-on. And you know, Jim, an observation about that secondary, they're brilliant also. They have a 3.3 average out of a possible 4.
That's in the schoolroom. Here's Charlie Pittman, and Pittman gets out across the 45. For Neil Smith, that was his 11th interception of this year and his 20th at Penn State. And that is a Penn State record, and as Aldi Regatas told you, he was a walk-on, no football scholarship. He went out very small, wanted to play football, and he's going to leave the University Park campus as an All-American. McMillan is now 3 for 14, 4 interceptions. Second down, 5 from the 46. Pittman in motion, and Lydell Mitchell, I don't believe he even got back to the line of scrimmage. Mark Kuhlman had his arms wrapped around him, number 79. Weisenfeld's also there.
And we're seeing two very excellent defensive units. Both defensive units doing extremely well. Now we're seeing out of the football game comes number 65, Adam Vital. A fifth back now goes in for additional protection.
3rd and 6, and Burkhardt rolling out under tremendous pressure, throws and has his man. Lydell Mitchell has the first down inside the 40 at the 36-yard line of Missouri.
This has been the big play for Penn State. The slot man going out, being lit up in there by Paul Johnson. Burkhardt pinpointing it. Paul Johnson comes back as he did a little earlier to pick up the man behind him. Mitchell almost breaks it.
The last time he took a little swing pass out there, he went 28 yards for a touchdown. Burkhardt throwing on first down and almost hauled in by Pittman, while Edmonds, I believe, was the intended receiver, was beyond him. So it'll be second down and 10. 5:58 to go. Third quarter, 10-3, Penn State over Missouri.
Missouri defense has really tested Penn State. They wanted to see if State would throw the football. Penn State is known to run better, but they're forcing them to the air, and Burkhardt is up to the task.
Burkhardt is 8 for 20. 1 interception. Flag goes down. This is Franco Harris trying to get outside, and right there is Mike Bennett turning the play in. He's in the background there, number 81. Kuhlman came over, but that's the man who forced the play, Mike Bennett. And as we said, a flag went down. And they're talking to Missouri. And Sam Adams, the defensive captain. Other games today, USC won the Rose Bowl 10-3 over Michigan. Sugar Bowl was won by Mississippi over Arkansas 27-22. And the Cotton Bowl, Texas 21, Notre Dame 17 in a thriller. Well, he had a couple of backs in motion there. And so it is third down as Franco Harris didn't go anywhere, and 10. Matter of fact, he lost yardage. Burkhardt again throws to Franco Harris and beyond him. Dropping off the line was Adam Vital, number 65, to defend. And let there be no mistake, the first name of the intended receiver is Franco. His second name is Harris.
And Adam Vital did a great job. That back coming out of the backfield could have been wide open. Adam Vital stopped Franco Harris at the line of scrimmage, forcing him, preventing that defense.
Bob Parsons will kick to John Staggers, and he hasn't enjoyed this too much today, as booming kicks have been returned and some sensational runs by Staggers. But he boots this one deep in the end zone, and it hops out, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Missouri on the touchback at the 20. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score, Penn State 10, Missouri 3.
Seems to me it's taking an awfully long time today. When are we going to be there? Ellen, honey, don't bother Daddy now.
So you thought all your problems this winter would be under the wheels. Well, on a
day like this, your problem is not skidding. It's seeing. It's blinding winter glare. Would ordinary sunglasses help? Let's test them and see. All ordinary sunglasses can do is darken glare. They're just not designed to remove it. But Cool Ray Polaroid sunglasses are. Watch this. Cool Ray Polaroid sunglasses have the famous Polaroid lens with the optical barrier that wipes out reflected glare, ends blind spots, and lets you see what's coming at you. Ask for Cool Ray Polaroid sunglasses. You only get them when you see this tag.
Third quarter, 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go. 10-3 Penn State. By the way, we neglected to mention Kogel, the offensive center for Penn State, was not in the ball game on that last drive. Now Missouri's got the football.
Mel Gray has not been a primary receiver, and if you're wondering why, they've been kind of double covering him, short with Hull and deep with the secondary man.
First down, and there's Joe Moore, hurdling a couple of tacklers and getting out to about the 24. He went over Jim Cates, number 55. Second down, and let's call it 7 instead of 6 at the 23.
We'll probably see Dan Devine using Hanley a bit more later on with Staggers in there with Mel Gray and possibly Hanley to give him more speed.
Gray this time at the bottom of your screen, and Shryock, the tight end, is split wide. There's a flag down as Moore is thrown at the line of scrimmage. That's Steve Smear operating there with Jim Cates. Flag is down, and they're talking to Penn State. Smear's over there saying that they're going to refuse it. So they've refused it, lost the down, and it is third down and 7. Mel Gray comes out. Now remember, we're watching a team in Missouri that has averaged 5 touchdowns a ball game. Thus far, they have 1 field goal. Henley is in and wide right, and McMillan back to throw, looking for Shryock, intercepted by Dennis Oncott, who's knocked down immediately at the 29 by John Staggers. First and 10, Penn State, and that's the 5th interception.
And he's played it so very well. He's just dropping perfectly into the zone. He sees the tight end come out, and there's Dennis. And he's got to be an All-American.
Well, now Penn State has another opportunity. 5 minutes and 1 second to go. Third quarter. Burkhart checks back in. Warren Kogel is in. Back at center, the junior from Glasgow, New York, 6'3", 242. Knee apparently all right. Lydell Mitchell wide left, but that is Franco Harris picking up a yard or two down to about the 27. Stacked up there by number 63, Sam Adams, and 79, Mark Kuhlman.
Now, Lydell Mitchell was split wide to the left side. He was not in the slot. They're retreating, as we mentioned earlier, very substantially, the defensive secondary. Butch Davis was playing way off of Lydell Mitchell.
Sirafisi, Wally Sirafisi, 1 catch on the year, is in the ballgame, but that is Pittman nearly breaking away, getting inside the 25. And that is Nip Weisenfels, number 26, who made the tackle, the linebacker on the right side. Burkhart, better than 51% completions on the year, 8 for 21 tonight. But his team is in front by 7. Pittman's carried the ball 14 times for 71 yards. Caught a pass for 4 yards. This is another third down play, 3rd and 4. And Franco Harris is shy of the first down at the 21. And that will bring up a 4th down play. And in with the play comes Dave Joyner as Surma goes out.
And once again, Pete Johnson becomes a primary receiver. They're playing him very tight. We mentioned before that Dennis Pope, number 28, plays a very challenging safety man, so 40 could be a big man.
Big play, they're going for it. And through the air. Going, and it is off the fingertips of Johnson. The man Al DeRogatis told you to watch because Dennis Pope was right there to knock it away.
What a great play by Dennis Pope. There's a safety man that moves so extremely well to the ball. He looks like he's at a defensive disadvantage, and yet he brilliantly retreats to the ball.
Well, this fifth interception has not hurt Missouri. They've got the ball at the 21. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score, Penn State 10, Missouri 3. And now we return to our studios for this message.
Pardon me. What's in the basket?
Oh, wild berries, fresh spring flowers, and country soft, country fresh Salem cigarettes.
But what's that tune you were humming?
Oh, it's the Salem song.
And what are the lyrics?
I thought you'd never ask. You can take Salem out of the country, but...
Hey, a new Pontiac.
It's my new Catalina. How's that for style, Wilson? Note the wide track for a better ride. Fiberglass belted tires, and there's a steel guardrail in that door.
How much you have to pay for all that?
Money isn't everything, Wilson.
It only takes a little to move up a lot at your Pontiac dealers, and he'll show you the prices.
Ordered power windows, too.
Dennis Pope will knock the ball away from Pete Johnson to give Missouri the football again on the 21, trailing by 7 with 3:17 to go, third quarter. Mel Gray is in and flanked right. Joe Moore for a couple of yards and no more. Well, we've been talking about the Penn State defense, how good it is, and statistics will tell you that they've only allowed 87 points before tonight in 10 games and now 90 points thus far in 11. There have only been 4 sustained drives against them in 10 games, but listen to this. 7 of the 11 starters on defense for Penn State were starters as sophomores. This is their 31st game together. McMillan back, throws over the middle of Shryock. His tight end, who picks up only a couple of yards. Way shy of first down territory. Jim Cates makes the stop. He's the linebacker that moves in and out of the line.
And there he is, 55, and he's certainly underrated. The Plainfield, New Jersey man makes a great play on Shryock.
And now for Missouri, big play, and coming in with it is Staggers as Gray comes out, and so does Henry Brown. Third down and 8. John Henley comes wide left. Draw play, but a flag is down. Moore gets out to the 30-yard line, shy of the first down, but there's a flag down inside the 20. Steve Smear chalking it off over with Paul Bertha, the referee, to see whether or not they want him to get that close with the first down and have it fourth down, or whether they want the yardage. The legal procedure, also, they want it to be fourth down. And Missouri, with still the whole of the fourth quarter left to go, and only 7 points between themselves and Penn State, not in the mood to gamble. McMillan, who was hurt in the first half, limps off, and Steve Kennemore comes in to kick it away. Dennis Onkotz and Paul Johnson. Now it is Onkotz by himself who is deep. Linebacker that returns punts. High may not have a chance. Calls for the fair catch and has it inside the 30 at the 27. Well, it'll be first and 10 for Penn State with 1:55 to go in the third quarter.
And the toll should begin to tell now on either defense. The smaller defense is the Missouri defense. They've done a great job, and the people in Columbia can certainly be proud of them. They've hung in there. They're not as big. They're playing brilliant football. Now we'll see whether or not that running game of Penn State can begin to take over.
Greg Edmonds comes wide right. Burkhardt going for the bomb to Johnson. He's got it. 30, 20, down to the 15-yard line. Pete Johnson, who only caught 7 passes all year, he's been thrown to a lot tonight. And the tight end, who was a linebacker a year ago, broke loose.
And there's a great call. First down. You figure they're going to run, and he goes way up top, He gets behind Dennis Pope here. Dennis, with the great speed, is able to pull down the tight end. Number 40, Pete Johnson.
Ball is spotted at the 17. Penn State 10, Missouri 3. Charlie Pittman going outside and stepping inside a tackle and getting inside the 15-yard line, down to the 14. Pope tripped him up. Penn State, in your picture, winner of the last 3 Lambert trophies in as many years. Lambert Trophy, symbolic of football supremacy in the East. Lydell Mitchell goes wide left. Second down, 8. Franco Harris gets down near the 10. Big and strong, 230-pound sophomore, 6'2", 19 years old, from Mount Holly, New Jersey. 25 seconds to go in this, the third quarter. Lundholm made the stop. And the tackle runs on again. Joyner again as Surmer goes off as they continue to alternate play calls from the bench. That's Joe Paterno, coat off now. Temperature still well in the 70s here in Miami. Edmonds wide right. 3rd and 5. Burkhart throws, has his man Pittman inside the 10 and close to a first down as time has run out. And this, the third quarter, and they're signaling it is a first down from the sidelines. Now he says first down, Penn State. As the quarter is over, that's the end of the third quarter in the 1970 Orange Bowl with the score. Penn State 10 and the Tigers of Missouri 3.
For the life of your car, get Go. The premium quality battery that delivers greater output. Go gives you fast starts for the life of your car. Go gives you reserve power for tough starts for the life of your car. Go gives you sure starts for the life of your car. Put new life in your car with a battery that's got more life. More life to give. More starting power than the batteries that come in most brand new cars. A battery with so much life in it, you get a lifetime free replacement guarantee for as long as you keep the car. Ask your Exide or Willard dealer. For your nearest dealer, call the Go line number free of charge and get Go for the life of your car.
From the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, this is Jim Simpson with Al DeRogatis. The Nittany Lions of Penn State have a first down at the 6.5-yard line of Missouri. And they're in front by 7 now with 1 quarter of football left in this 1970 Orange Bowl.
And you'd be figuring again that Chuck Burkhart, who's been fooling just about everyone all night, will probably be running, and Missouri will figure an inside run. But the speed now in that backfield, that pitch out could be very effective.
Against Kansas here, almost in this same spot a year ago, Burkhart carried the ball himself. But this time he gives it to Pittman, who gets inside the 5. And there's a flag back at the 7. And the penalty, as you see, is against Penn State. (10-3) in a ball game that has had more than its quota of excitement, and we've still got a quarter to go. Offside charged against the Nittany Lions. Takes the ball back just over the 11. Right is first down. Greg Edmonds checks in and comes out to the left. Now they've got a power eye left. Burkhart keeps the ball and throws behind his intended receiver, number 34, Franco Harris. And there's another flag down. And Penn State is walking back again. Offside a second time. Missouri is trying to figure out whether they want the yardage or the down.
It becomes important now. The field goal makes a big difference right here. That gives you 13. And they're going to choke off the 5. They want to get them as far away from that goalpost, obviously, as possible.
We haven't mentioned this before, as they take it back across the 16 now, but there's now definitely a wind swirling around the Orange Bowl. If you look at the open end of the stadium, it looks as though the wind is coming into the stadium and going around and sweeping back up the field. Could affect a field goal attempt. But we're now on the field and don't know exactly what the conditions are. Burkhart, and in trouble. And there's John Cowan, the sophomore, throwing him back across the 30. Penn State's strong suit is defense, but right now, that belongs to Missouri. Defense.
And they have really been getting to the passer. That's got to be at least the 5th time that they've gotten to Chuck Burkhart. It is 5, and when they get to him, they're throwing him for big losses, and that might well be, Jim, the biggest. He was probably going to go to Lydell Mitchell. Lydell was in the slot. It looked like he was going to the outside. Lydell Mitchell could be wide open if they don't go to the inside, but break it to the outside, rather, break it to the inside.
Second down now from the 27. Burkhart in trouble again on the screen. Throws to Lydell Mitchell. Inside the 20, inside the 15. Dennis Pope makes the tackle, along with Cowan, the tackle who dropped off.
And we mentioned the 5 times that Burkhart was thrown. He was thrown for 9, 12, 6, 8, and 16 yards for a total of 51.
Third down and 12 to go for the touchdown. Mitchell is already out of the huddle and at the bottom of your screen. 10-3 Penn State, and the Lions are threatening again. Pittman inside the 5, a brilliant effort. Just pushed back as he got near the goal line. What an effort by Charlie Pittman.
And that is absolutely a super run. Now you're going to get a beautiful view of it. Here he comes, steps back. It's a draw, good lead draw. Bronco Harris leading him up there. This man was not to be denied.
And now, as Pittman is down, see him shoved back. Hoffman leading the charge from the 2. Make it the 1.5. It is 4th down. Burkhart says, I can't hear. 10-3. 4th down, Penn State. An official's timeout. Those making the noise, strangely enough. Penn State is across the way, right at that end of the field. But a few folks from Missouri are on this side of the field, in the same section, comparably. And each school sold out the 12,500 tickets allotted within a short space of time. Now Burkhart says, I'm going to go talk to Joe Paterno. This could be a big play at 10-3, but 12:54 to go in the ball game. And 4th down and goal to go from the 1.5.
Charlie Pittman has carried 17 times for 82 yards, and he has 2 receptions for 10 yards. Burkhart has just been, Jim, outstanding. He's done everything right. He's called some great plays. The defense of Missouri, the defense of Penn State, both have been brilliant. The other day at lunch, Dan Devine and Joe Paterno were kind of kidding each other. Great respect for one another. The offense of Missouri we told you about. The Penn State team, it was Dan Devine who said, I don't think there is a better team in the country than Penn State.
Burkhart still along the sidelines. The youngster who last year, as Joe Paterno's coach walks right by him, who last year scored the touchdown that put Penn State within a point of Kansas, and on the second try gave the ball to Campbell. And now it is going to be Mike Ritz. They are not going to go for the touchdown. They're going for the field goal. From the 7, it'll be 17 yards, almost like an extra point in degree of difficulty. But it'll put big 3 points there, and the kick is no good. Off to the side. Low snap from center and off to the side, and the score remains the same. Action will continue, and there's lots of it here at the Orange Bowl. The score, Penn State 10, Missouri 3.
I say, might I have one of those musty brown cigarettes?
Say, partner, want to try one of these old sagebrush cigarettes?
In this fancy, frilly, you gotta have a gimmick world, there's one cigarette that doesn't go along. Camel filters. Camel filters just taste good. That's our gimmick. Camel filters. They're not for everybody, but then they don't try to be.
Who's got the newest low-priced hardtop you can buy? Pontiac. Surprised? This is the Tempest hardtop, just introduced. With Pontiac's great innovations like concealed radio antenna and wide-track ride, yet priced low enough so that now nearly everybody can afford to move up to the prestige of a Pontiac and the sportiness of a hardtop. This is the newest low-priced hardtop you can buy, and above all, it's a wide-track Pontiac.
Terry McMillan, who limped off the field last time and who's been intercepted 5 times, is not in the ballgame. Chuck Roper, a sophomore from Brentwood, Missouri, 6'1", 177, 19 years old, there's McMillan, has taken his place at quarterback. Roper is a good passing quarterback, but the story of Missouri this year has been McMillan, but Terry hasn't been able to do it tonight. First down from the 20. John Staggers, who's been doing it all night, is doing it again. Across the 40 to the 42. Oncox makes the stop.
What a runner this man is. What a runner. Great block up in there by Harris. Just some sensational moves. He just never quits.
Mike Smith helping out on the tackle, but Missouri has now moved it out to the 42. 12.5 minutes to go. Now Gray to the right. Roper's back for his first pass. Looking, throwing, overshoots, intercepted by Neil Smith. His second of the night. His 21st of his career. The walk-on athlete that's leaving University Park is an All-American. They're saying that he stepped out of bounds. Or is it interference?
George Landis is in great position here, right in front of the receiver. The ball is laid way up there. And here comes the Hawk, 26. What an interception. Stays in bounds. Then he steps out.
And so the ball is put back on the 25. It is still 10-3 Penn State.
10-3 Penn State, Jim. And the only comment that I can make, the way they run that football, the pass has really killed Missouri. There it is again. Both feet are in. But his momentum took him out.
Double slot right. Almost running into one another, Burkhardt and Charlie Pittman, who wound up with the football and just did get back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Well, that's the 6th interception by the Penn State defense, the first against Chuck Roper. And to repeat, he was not going for Mel Gray. He was going for Henry Brown. Second down and nearly 10 to go. Burkhardt throwing, and there is Mike Bennett again. Number 81 batted the ball down. We had heard so much about John Brown, the fine sophomore, 6'1", 221, but it's the junior Mike Bennett who's been playing the fine defensive end tonight for Missouri.
Adam Vidal, number 65, who could do many things very well. Now coming out of the game, another defensive back is going in. They'll have 4 halfbacks in there, but Vidal has been playing not on the line of scrimmage, but as a linebacker.
Charlie Wilson has come into the backfield for Penn State, number 41. He comes from Cocoa, Florida. Third down and 10. Burkhardt being chased. And Weisenfeld, the blitzing linebacker, throws him inside the 15, inside the 10.
Weisenfeld comes from one side. Mike Bennett, who's been everywhere, comes from the other side. Chuck Burkhardt was just sandwiched a bit. Here's Bennett. That's smart.
The ball is put down right on the 10. Fourth down and 25. Burkhardt has now been caught 6 times for 66 yards, and so Bob Parsons has to back into the end zone to kick it away, and John Staggers awaits. Rushes on, and it's a bad kick. Could have been partially blocked. Picked up by Penn State, but whistled dead back at the 20. The ball, the official is calling time way back upfield where the ball will be put down. It's Missouri's football on the 20-yard line.
Now we might watch, and this is the big break, the big rush there, almost gets to it. The first bad kick, but the comment really is now James Harris is in there, number 36, James Harris in there, a fine blocker. We've been saying the running game has been great. The speed man is there, 22 Staggers.
There goes Staggers again, getting down near the 15-yard line. 10-3. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. In beautiful, balmy Miami at the moment, there's a shower. Rain is coming down. Second down from the 16-yard line. 10 minutes, 25 seconds to go. Penn State leading by 7, but here is Missouri in great territory, and now both of their linemen on the right side move before the snap of the ball. And so they will bring this one back. Chuck Roper talking it over. Number 16. Illegal procedure charged. And they bring the ball back outside the 20 again. Now Terry McMillan has come back into the ball game. There's Dan Devine. What a long day it has been for him. Penn State's 6 interceptions ties the Orange Bowl record. Second down and 10, and there's McMillan. And Devine wants him to go with his best. Staggers has carried the ball 7 times for 57 yards. And now he is in trouble, throwing it high in the air, belongs to anybody. And caught by no one. Flag is down, and there could be interference as the ball was put in the air. Penn State was shielding off against the Missouri man. Could be Missouri's call, could be Penn State's call. Missouri is the one that's walking back.
Bob Wilson, though it was against him, made probably the smartest play of the evening. He knew the pass was going to be intercepted. Staggers just put it up there, and Bob Wilson just drove into a man downfield.
Well, Missouri tonight, as the offensive interference is charged, takes the ball back to the 36-yard line, has had quite a night. They've been intercepted 6 times. They've lost fumbles. And now, with a first down at the 20-yard line, they have been charged with offensive interference set up by the strong rush of Penn State, and now it is 3rd down and 25. McMillan looking, throwing for Gray, who is double-teamed, and nobody intercepts this time. That is Oncotts back there with Gray. He did not know that Mel did not have the football. And now it is 4th down and 25. 10-3 Penn State. 10 minutes, 4 seconds left to go in the ball game.
How about that defensive end, though, Gary Hull? That was the man that was all the way downfield. It's been a big factor. He got 1 interception earlier, almost got another one just then.
Now Missouri decides to call a timeout on 4th down and 25. So action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score remaining, Penn State 10 and the Missouri Tigers 3.
For every man who dreams of becoming the world's greatest airline pilot, United has the world's greatest pilot school. It's our giant flight training center in Denver, Colorado, where we've assembled the most advanced pilot training equipment ever put under one roof, and where United pilots receive the most thorough training in aviation history. Our kind of training is so highly regarded that 40 major airlines throughout the world send their pilots and crews here. Our kind of training is so thorough that every United pilot returns here every 6 months for refresher courses. It's like getting a PhD in flying.
Very nice job, Dick.
The world's largest pilot training school. Just one more way the world's largest airline makes the skies a friendly place to fly in.
Fly the friendly skies of United.
Henry Brown. Henry Brown has tied up his toe and apparently will try a 52-yard field goal. But McMillan, the passing quarterback, is the holder. Brown kicked 4 field goals against the Air Force and won the game with 11 seconds to go with a field goal, and he is going to try it. It is off to the side. They'll come out to the 20. 1st and 10 for Penn State. The rain beginning to come down a little bit harder. And we'll remind you again that the Kansas City Chiefs will be going against the Oakland Raiders in the Oakland Alameda Coliseum for the American Football League Championship this Sunday afternoon, January the 4th, and you'll be able to see it on NBC. The Raiders, of course, have the jinx on the Chiefs, at least recently. 6 of the last 7 times out, Oakland has been a winner. But that doesn't guarantee, of course, that'll happen Sunday. Why don't you tune in NBC Sunday, January the 4th. The Chiefs will meet the Raiders for the American Football League Championship and the right to go on to the Super Bowl. Burkhardt hands the ball to his fine All-American halfback, Charlie Pittman. Well, tonight, both teams have All-Americans, and both teams have excellent performers. The biggest story is 5 touchdowns per ball game averaging Missouri has yet to score 1.
And the way Missouri moves this football, you can be sure Chuck Burkhardt wants to get a few first downs in, move this football downfield, try to kill as much time as possible.
2nd down and 5, 9.5 minutes left. This time, Pittman does not get out of the backfield. Fine play by the right side of the line, Hoffman, 84, and Cowan, number 60. But the clock continues to run, and now Penn State is up with a big play. 3rd and long yardage, 7 yards to go, or surrender the football again to dangerous Missouri. Pittman has carried the ball 20 times for 88 yards. So this becomes a big play for both teams. 3rd and 7. And again, 4 defensive halfbacks are in there. The fake pitch, and here comes Weisenfeld blitzing and has him. They'll mark it at the 9. But they'll have to kick the ball away.
Sam Adams and Weisenfeld both coming. Burkhardt again throwing. And this is the 7th time. That defense has just been sensational for Missouri.
I think you see Mike Bennett in there also. That's the 7th time that Chuck Burkhardt has been thrown for a total of 78 yards. And none, perhaps, could be bigger than that one. Bob Parsons, and there's John Staggers back near midfield. Parsons last time didn't kick too far. This time he does, and he hangs it up high. Mel Gray is back. Has it bounce off and go out of bounds at the 49. Well, it'll be 1st and 10 for Missouri.
I don't know what the record is for punts, but there are 10 now.
And action will continue at the Orange Bowl with the score. Penn State 10 and Missouri 3.
The future. You hope for it. You plan for it. You prepare for it. Then sometimes it takes you by surprise anyhow. At the Travelers, it's our job to help you be ready when the future becomes the present. By worrying for you about the big things, we leave you free to worry about the little things. We think you have enough to worry about.
Seven minutes, 51 seconds left in the ball game. And Chuck Roper has been given the assignment of trying to get Missouri on the scoreboard again. Right in the back of my mind is last year's game, one with a 2-point conversion with 12 men on the field and time was out. Missouri has an excellent chance, of course, with a lot of time left to score, and then the possibility of a 2-point play. But they got to score first. Here's Staggers, and he runs right into a couple of big men by the name of Jack Ham and Mike Reed, numbers 33 and 68. But he gets across the 50 and down to the 47. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Let's go, move! Go,
It is still raining, but not nearly as hard.
And this might be the running game march that we probably had been expecting all night.
Second man through is Staggers and fights his way down near the 45. Jim Cates is at the bottom of that heap, along with Oncott. And now, Moore and McBride, the starting backs in that I formation, where it's McBride the fullback, Moore the tailback, have come in as Joe Paterno knows that this game isn't over yet, even though he's leading 10-3. Gray goes to the left. Tryock is to the right. Second man through is Moore, and Moore gets down near the 45 again, a gain of perhaps only a half a yard. And getting up is Jim Cates, who helped out Mike Reed to make the stop. And now, Missouri is faced with a fourth down situation at the 45. Gray comes off. Steve Kennemore, the punter, is in. Back Oncott and Paul Johnson. 6:15 to go now. The clock becomes a big factor. High kick. Johnson watches it hit. And it's tried to be tipped back by Henry Brown. But it goes into the end zone and will come out to the 20. 1st and 10. Now, Penn State, of course, by staying on the ground, picking up a first down or two, can use up important minutes on that clock. .6:04 to go now. Burkhart to Pittman, who picks up a couple of yards, and that's all. Stopped there by number 63, Sam Adams.
The offensive line at Penn State has done a fine job, as has Missouri. Haluba, again, a good trap block, pulling from right, from his left guard position and trapping to the opposite side. We've been talking, Jim, about what looked like a great defense against a great offense, and they've shown both of that. But we didn't say very much about this Missouri defense, and they certainly have hung in there.
Here's Burkhart on 2nd and 8. Keeping it on the ground still, and there's another fine tackle of Pittman. Getting up is the man who made that tackle, getting up most slowly, Mark Kuhlman.
The unbalanced line now, the old power of the single wing is being employed here by Penn State. They came out that time unbalanced to the left and ran at their strength.
Less than 5 minutes now, and a big play again for Penn State and again for Missouri. 3rd down and 5. They give it to Franco Harris, and he does not get the first down. It is 4th down, and Penn State will be forced to hand the ball back to Missouri. And the Tigers will get another chance with a score of 10-3 and 4.5 minutes left. Bob Parsons comes in. And you know who is going to go back. Staggers, who had such a great first half, running back. Punts. And Mel Gray joins him. Last time, Gray had the football down right off his shoulder pad, but out of bounds, fortunately for him. Four minutes, 5 seconds left now. Long count. Flag almost went down for taking too much time. This is Mel Gray, a 9.3 speedster, and he's got the football. Wall setting up down the sidelines, bumped out of bounds as he gets to the 34. Now Missouri's got the football again, 1st and 10. Action will continue here at the Orange Bowl. The score, Penn State 10 and Missouri 3.
Search no more. The quest for the ultimate blade is over. Gillette introduces Platinum Plus, the blade with an edge of Gillette's astonishing new Platinum alloy. Platinum Plus, harder than stainless, more durable than chrome, to shave you not just cleaner, but with more comfort than any blade in history. Gillette Platinum Plus, the blade you've always wanted, and more.
Let's say you've been thinking about buying a full-sized four-door sedan, one of those well-known low-priced names. If you compare, you'll find it's priced only about $50 less than this Pontiac Catalina. But you won't get Catalina's longer wheelbase, hidden radio antenna, wide track ride, and big car prestige. How much are you willing to give up for only $50? It only takes a little to move up a lot at your Pontiac dealers.
Well, this is a close ball game tonight. They've all been close here on New Year's Day. And we'll give you all of the scores. Well, there's Notre Dame, which had Texas, till Texas won in the last moment, 21-17. Mississippi got out in front of Arkansas and held on to win 27-22. And in the Rose Bowl, seen on NBC, Michigan beaten by Southern California 10-3, and that's the score of this ball game. Penn State beating Missouri with 3:51 left. Roper back to throw, standing there, looping it, Gray downfield, trying to catch it. Just can't get to it at the 20. He had a step on George Landis. And for Mel Gray, when he's got a step, that means that's all. We'll repeat it again. This young man won both the Kansas and Drake relays 100-yard dash. Clocked officially in competition at 9-3.
Now, there's always a temptation with a sophomore to try to go way up top. The short patterns, the down and outs, the things that move you downfield against the tight defense that Penn State is using is probably the kind of play he should be employing.
Roper back again, looking down and out and through the hands of Shryock at the 48-yard line. Mike Smith was about 5 or 10 yards away from him. But Shryock was in the clear. Gray trots back into the ballgame. But it is 3rd down and 10.
And as yet, we have not seen the great screen pass that Missouri can run. The screen that they fake to the second man in the eye. The first man then drops off to the wide side.
Rain coming down again. Might make the football a little difficult to handle, but they keep the towel on it. This is the 3rd down play. Roper looking, firing, and off the hands of Henley. And 4 Penn Staters were around him. Like 5 or 6 now, but 4 were right there. Roper is now 0 for 4, 1 interception. McMillan was intercepted 5 times. And Roper comes out on 4th down. The clock reads 3 minutes, 36 seconds left. Staggers, goes in. 4th down, 10. And this is the hardest it's rained tonight. Oncock goes back, along with Paul Johnson. Kennemore to kick from his 25. Oncock calling for the fair catch and taking it at the 26. So it'll be 1st and 10, Penn State, with only 3:29 left, and leading by 7 points.
And now time, obviously, is the big factor. The running game, if it consumes 2 first downs, does several things. Obviously, 1, it eats up the clock. 2, it's going to force Missouri to use up their timeout.
Delay on the field. The officials walking around. Penn State's defense started on again. Now is walking off. And there's the story. Mike Ritz kicked a 29-yard field goal. Burkhart threw a little swing pass to Lydell Mitchell, who carried it with some fine blocking, a total of 28 yards to make it 10-0 in the first quarter. The only Missouri score. 33-yard field goal by Henry Brown. That came in the second quarter. No score in the third quarter. A quarter, by the way, in which Penn State usually scores big. Penn State had Missouri inside their 10 twice. First down 10, and Franco Harris picks up some yardage out across the 30 to the 31. A gain of about 4. It is 2nd down and 6. Now Chuck Burkhart, that quarterback who played 20 games as a high school quarterback starter and 21 games as a starter for Penn State, has never lost a game in which he started. He hasn't won this one yet, but only 3 minutes remain. That is Burkhart. playing his last game for Penn State. Franco Harris again, and not much yardage. And so now, with 2:45 to go out, we come up to another big third down play.
And again, they're going right at the strength of Missouri. They're going at Mark Kuhlman, number 79, the senior 6'3", 218 pounds, and Mike Bennett, who is 6'3", 202 pounds. Mike has had a great evening, Jim, on some very big plays.
2 minutes, 42 seconds to go. Across the way, Vic Surma, an offensive right tackle who has been trotting in and out with Dave Joyner all night long, bringing in news from Joe Paterno, plays, and Burkhardt is right there with him. And on this side, that is Lundholm with his back to us. And it looks like George Fountain. It is, number 27. A linebacker and a halfback. Well, this has been a great Orange Bowl week for us. The entire Orange Bowl committee have been very good to us, including the president for this year, Alan Morris, and his executive vice president, creator of the pageant, our good friend Ernie Silent. What a job he did with the pregame and halftime tonight. His staff members, Dan McNamara, Hal Fleming, public relations, Jack Hodling. They do not get the first down. Pittman has stopped at the 32 with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go, and Penn State must kick it back to Missouri. Steve Lundholm made the tackle, along with Mark Kuhlman. Clock is running, and a couple of men are on the field. There they go. The officials hoping they simply trot off the other side. Bob Parsons in to kick, 2 minutes, 5 seconds left. Staggers, who has been brilliant, is deep. 2 minutes left. And the kick is out of bounds, which stops the clock for Missouri. Well, we've got a lot of time left in the ball game, but Dan Devine, the athletic director and head coach, University of Missouri, Edward M. Checkeye, the Penn State athletic director, and of course his head coach Joe Paterno have all been very good to us. And our thanks also to the sports information directors Bill Callahan, the University of Missouri, and Jim Tarman of Penn State. But we've got 1 minute and 55 seconds to go. From the 42, Roper is the quarterback. And back to throw. Hit as he throws, but the catch is made by Henley. And that's nearly enough for a first down.
And those are the kind of plays we were talking about, going with the down and outs, trying to get the man to the sideline. 1 minute and 42 is plenty of time.
1:42 left. Staggers trots over to the side. They're going to measure. Our statistician, Jim Davis, as spotters, Mickey Bergstein from Penn State and Joe Callahan of Missouri. And our production stage manager, Jim O'Gorman. Now let's see this important measurement. Staggers looking on. First down for Missouri at the 48-yard line of Penn State. Well, remember what happened last year. It wasn't over until time was out. And here we are with 1 minute 42 to go. Penn State leading by 7. But Missouri in their territory with a first down at the 48.
And the draw with Joe Moore is always an all-the-way threat.
Henley to the right, Gray to the left, a lot of speed. And Roper back to throw. Throws for Henley. He's got it. Inside the 15. First down, Missouri. Time called. 1:31 to go.
And the man that probably runs the best pass pattern makes a good move, eluding Mike Smith, and almost goes all the way.
That was Paul Johnson who made the tackle. 1:20 to go. Clock is running. Roper looking and overthrows Henley at the 2. Stops the clock with 1:13. John the Jet Henley got a 56-yarder against the Air Force. A sophomore from California, San Bernardino.
And this is very reminiscent of the great Rose Bowl game of many years ago when a young sophomore from the University of Southern California came in against the undefeated, and I think I recall correctly, untied and unscored upon Duke, and won it.
Harrison tried to get in, but now goes out. Roper back, looking again. Swing pass, knocked away. Brilliant play by Mike Smith. Intended for Staggers. Stops the clock with 1:09 to go and makes it 3rd down. And now McBride comes out, and Harrison goes in. Now, we have seen some classics over the last couple of years. Kansas, Penn State last year. Remember Oklahoma, Tennessee, and the first night ball game. Joe Namath's last game. Alabama, Texas, another thriller. Henley this time left. Gray right on 3rd and 10. Roper throws. Intercepted by Landis. The 7th interception. And knocked out of bounds at the 42 with 53 seconds to go. That sets a new Orange Bowl record. 7 interceptions against Missouri. 2 against Roper, including this threatening kill-off, and 5 against McMillan.
Not to be denied, Pat Patrick and J.T. White and Joe Paterno thought if they could get 3 interceptions against Missouri, they could win it, but they got 7. That secondary has been just superb, just brilliant.
As time runs out, 22 seconds showing on the clock. Penn State in no hurry at all. The clock continues to run. We can't help but tell you that we'd also like to thank Ben Benjamin, the Orange Bowl Committee, one of our longtime friends. Our first Orange Bowl was 1962, Colorado and LSU. But there's a big discussion. Now the kids are coming on the field. The clock has run. They're signaling them off. And I don't know if this game is over yet or not. I don't believe the game is over. I believe that out of bounds, after the interception returned by Landis, stopped the clock. It should have, with 20 seconds or so left. The officials are trying to get him over. So Paterno is talking, and he wants to know, but remember when Landis returned that ball, he was knocked out of bounds. And we thought it was about 20 seconds, but we understand now that there should be about 24 seconds left. So this Orange Bowl game that has had everything has still more. 24 seconds more once they get the smoke bomb and the folks off the field. Now they tell us 54 seconds left. But remember, Penn State has got the football and the lead 10-3.
The interception that hurt Terry McMillan so badly now hurts the sophomore Roper. The secondary, that 3 deep, Hull, who's helped out in that secondary, have all played brilliantly.
Well, Bowl Day highlights that Pat Hernan will not be seen tonight because of the extraordinary length of this ball game, which is now more than 3 hours old. And a lot of folks thought it was over, but it is not. So again, Southern Cal beat Michigan 10-3 in the Rose Bowl. Mississippi took Arkansas 27-22 in the Sugar. Texas takes Notre Dame 21-17 in the Cotton. Well, the scoreboard shows no time, but we've got almost a minute. Burkhardt is going to try to kill that minute, getting down to the 40. Now Missouri quickly calls time. 55 seconds to go. We pause briefly for station identification. This is wild. This is the NBC television network.
As far as interceptions are concerned, try these on for size. George Landis, 31, who just made that great one, 2. Dennis Oncott, Denny had 3, number 35. Neil Smith, 1. Mike Smith, 1 for 7.
Second down and about 9 at the Missouri 41. Repeat again, the 29-yard field goal to Mike Ritz, a 28-yard pass play from Burkhardt to Lydell Mitchell, the Penn State scoring, and Henry Brown's 33-yard field goal to Missouri scoring. We expected a high-scoring affair. We did not get it, but what a football game we got. Burkhardt carries again, holding on to the football, and again, Missouri calls timeout. It continues to rain, and that's another unusual thing. for Miami, Florida. It has not rained all week until the fourth quarter tonight. Now, about 46 seconds are left. It is third down. And with Missouri able to stop the clock as much as they have, 46 seconds sounds like a lot. But Missouri, with Penn State having 2 more plays, it's 3rd and 6 now, has no more timeout. Well, Missouri came into the ball game despite the fact they were ranked lower than second-ranked Penn State, the slight favorite, in deference to their fine passing game. McMillan, who set so many records at Missouri this year, eclipsing the records of Paul Christmas, a Coral Gables product, a second-string quarterback who went away and made it big at Missouri. But here tonight, McMillan was intercepted 5 times, and out of 17 passes, completed only 4. Burkhardt running backwards and falling down at the 47. Now, Missouri can no longer call a timeout. 35 seconds remain. Not on the scoreboard clock at all, so we cannot count it down for you from there. And Penn State's just going to take its time. Burkhardt leaves the field, apparently for the last time as a Penn State quarterback, and in high school and in college ball, Chuck Burkhardt never started a ball game that he lost. Parsons is back. Time is running out. You wonder whether or not he's actually going to kick it to them or out of bounds. Hope is there. The ball goes over the sideline markers and out of bounds. And that is the end of the ball game. Well, Al DeRogatis, we came on the air and we said the fine defense of Penn State and the awesome offense of Missouri. The defense of Penn State looked good, so did Missouri's, but the Missouri offense never really materialized to get a score.
And what we expected to happen would be that people like Mike Reed and Steve Smear and Denny Oncotts and Jim Cates would be getting to the passer. They rarely got to Terry McMillan, but the unheralded almost defense of the Missouri Tigers threw Burkhardt time after time after time, and they were on him all afternoon. Joe Paterno in your picture, obviously a very happy coach. And isn't it a great feeling to end your career never having lost a game in college or high school?
And Penn State now has won 30 ball games without a loss. There has been a tie in a bowl game. They've won tonight by the score of 10-3 over Missouri. This is Jim Simpson with Al DeRogatis saying goodbye from the Orange Bowl in Miami. Our reminder, Sunday, January the 4th, the American Football League Championship, Kansas City against Oakland, live in color here on NBC.
See Jimmy Durante, Judy Carn, Leslie Uggams, and James Garner with Andy Saturday night.